football game of the Regis Jesuit season here from Hinckley High School in Aurora, Colorado. The Regis Jesuit Raiders travel to take on the Rangeview Raiders. Regis coached by Mark Nolan, Rangeview coached by Dave Gonzalez. I'm joined here today with my partner in crime, Steven Snyder, our wonderful producer, Tommy Rains, and our cameraman, Skylar Morris. We're going to pause to sing our national anthem, and we'll join you right after that.
A moment of silence, please. Thank you. And now the playing of our national anthem. Thank you, everybody.
Steven, how do you feel about this opening matchup?
You know, I'm really excited, Jake. The Raiders are looking pretty good going into this from what we saw at the scrimmage last week, and it's absolutely fantastic. I'm so excited.
Words cannot express our excitement. Indeed, just for a quick recap of last year, Regis finished the regular season 5-4, lost a tough playoff first-round game against Fairview. So they're expecting much more than a 5-5 finish from last year. And to put it in perspective, this is a very young Raider team. 15 seniors, very few upperclassmen. This is a team that has the time to flourish, and this team will get good.
You know, Jake, I'm absolutely excited. I'm stoked for the season. The Raiders are looking fantastic, and I remember that playoff game. We were actually broadcasting that, Jake, and it was a really tough loss, but Raiders bouncing back off that, and we'll see how it goes.
Head coach for the Raiders, Mark Nolan, in his 4th year of coaching at Regis. 2 years ago was the almost undefeated season when Regis went all the way to the state championship game, where they encountered a tough loss to Mullen, but definitely expecting big things this year. And before we start, Steven, I would like to introduce you to Quick Score from Max Preps.
And everybody, Quick Score is a fantastic program offered by Max Preps. It allows you to view live games from around the country, all around the country, and in your local area. So, you know, Jake, if you're at the game, you have your smartphone, and you want to see how your rival's doing across town. If it's playoff time, your team's looking to get in, you need some help, it's a great way to keep updated.
Kicking off, Vince Sabin for the Raiders, the junior. The kickoff will go to the left side of the 15-yard line. That's number 9, Trevin Newbine, breaking up the fine. He's got a big gain out to the 44-yard line.
And, Jake, that's absolutely crucial for Rangeview, getting that momentum going when you can start on the 44-yard line. That's fantastic.
Steven, before I forget, we just can't overemphasize the youth of this Raider team. The 2 quarterbacks that will be platooning tonight, Zach Heath and Matt Hotelling, Matt's a sophomore and Zach's a junior, so we're expecting a lot of big things from both of them in the next couple of years.
And, you know, Jake, that's always exciting when you have a couple years to develop a starting quarterback on a varsity team and just see him grow.
Here's Darian Ogadard in the shotgun for the Raiders. It's an option right. He'll keep it and move the scram for about 3 yards.
You know, Jake, I feel like we're going to see a lot of the option from Rangeview tonight. They looked very comfortable running that play right there, even though it didn't go for too many yards. It looked solid. It just looked great, and I feel like we'll see that a lot tonight.
Rangeview, definitely a very athletic team. Talking to Robert Orban early in the week, the Raiders hope they can beat him on discipline, but this is a dangerous team because they do have the athleticism. Here's Rangeview now lining up in another shotgun set. Ogadard in the shotgun with number 27, Armand Brown. It's a handoff to Brown, and it's stuffed in the backfield by the Raiders. That's a loss of 1 or 2.
And you know, Jake, that's absolutely crucial for the Raiders. You know defense is going to be big here with such a young offense, and they've got some fantastic players on defense. As we saw in the scrimmage, they're very aggressive, very tenacious. And with number 34 there, I believe that is Grant Neal, who also plays running back. He is a very tenacious defensive end, and he can really tear things up in the backfield this season for the Raiders.
A little Toby Gerhardt playing both sides, if anyone remembers the Heisman runner-up from Stanford a couple years ago. Odegaard in the shotgun now, flanked by halfbacks on both sides. 3rd and 8 for Rangeview. The snap, it's a pass, looks left. Well, number 32, and he way overshot him.
And you know, Jake, that's actually concerning, though, because if that wasn't overshot, that looked like he was going for about 10 or 12 yards there. And that quick pass play works great with an option offense.
You know what was interesting about that, Steven, was that it almost looked like the quarterback, Odegaard, was looking at that same receiver the whole time, and yet no Regis defenders went towards him.
I think that was because it was such a quick pass, Jake.
So here's Ben Handy on the punt. At the 33-yard line, low snap, and the punt is up. It'll go to the, and it takes a bad bounce for Regis inside the 10-yard line. It'll go down to the 6. That's a 50-yard punt, and that's a big special teams gain for Rangeview.
And, you know, Jake, that was lucky because the punt didn't exactly look spectacular. I thought the Raiders were going to have great field position and just got a good bounce. And half the time that's what punting's about, is just getting lucky on the bounce.
Indeed, a very fortunate bounce for Rangeview. Definitely could have gone the other way. And here come the Raiders, the Regis Jesuit Raiders. And the quarterback will be Matt Hotelling, the sophomore. He's very fast, and I've heard from multiple Regis players that he's very good at play-action passes. So here's Regis in an ace, man in motion to the left, now going back to the right. And there's a play-action, Hotelling scrambling out to the right. He's got a man. That's Robert Orban for a pass and a first down.
And you know, Jake, you said he was very good at play-action. I think he was great. Did you see how many open receivers he had on that?
He could have thrown it to a couple people, and he could have run it, too. He had a big green space in front of him.
If that's there all night, Jake, the Regis Jesuit Raiders are going to have a lot of options.
1st and 10 for the Raiders at the 25-yard line. Hotelling under center and an ace. I think that's number 34, Grant Neal, behind him. I'm not sure. Man in motion, number 17, A.J. Shaw. Hotelling, handoff, up the middle to Neal. Neal rumbles his way to 2 yards.
And, you know, Jake, it looked like Grant was going to go down there pretty early, but that's what you just got to do, is push for those quick little gains, and eventually that can make a game. As we saw a couple years ago, even when the Super Bowl, Titans gave up on a play kind of. They cost them 2 yards, and they lost Super Bowl by 1. So those are the plays that win games.
Regis definitely running their patented bread-and-butter offense, a heavy supply of runs up the middle to hopefully tire out the defense. And now here's Hotelling again. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Grant Neal in the backfield. Hotelling. It's a handoff to Neal again. And this time he's out almost to a Regis first down. Looks like he's a couple feet short.
And you know, Jake, as I was watching that play set up, I saw Grant Neal in the backfield. And even I've been broadcasting football games with you for a decent amount of time now, and even I couldn't tell if that was a run or a pass. That's really got to be concerning to a defense.
Yeah, that's a great play-action option that Hotelling has for the Raiders. It'll be 3rd and short. Steven, I think we're definitely going to see a run, I would think. But, you know, with Hotelling's play-action ability, he could even try to scramble out. 3rd and short for the Raiders. Handoff to Grant Neal, and he's got a first down.
That was a great play, Jake, because I saw 7 Rangeview Raiders there lining up on the defensive line, and that'd be concerning if our running a run play on 3rd and short, but everybody knew it was coming. But when you got a player like Grant Neal, it doesn't matter if you know it's coming. You got to stop him.
Grant Neal, a junior, outlining a powerful class of pretty much everyone but the seniors. Regis has a lot to look forward to in the coming years. The seniors are the heart of the team, but not too many out on the field. And Hotelling looks like a handoff. That's number 9. I'd say Andre Elliott. He's got a big gain down the field. And he's going to be taken down inside the 10-yard line. Excuse me, that's DeJour Elliott, the sophomore.
Wow, Jake, that was an absolutely fantastic play there. Great field vision there. You saw him reverse field there. He's supposed to go outside, saw the whole inside, and just fantastic field vision. That's all I can say.
Steven, it looked like he almost didn't know what to do once he got out in front of everyone. He kept looking back. But a great run for DeJour Elliott, and the Raiders are in business, 1st and goal. Here's Hotelling now. This is a pretty interesting formation. Everyone's in the box. One tight end on the left, a tight end and a flank on the right, and then an I formation up the middle. Hotelling man in motion. Going from left to right, snap. It's a pass. He's going to look to the left. He's got a man, Robert Orban, and it's intercepted. Matt Hotelling intercepted in the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Rangeview ball on the 20-yard line.
What an athletic play, Jake. He got up, tipped that pass, and grabbed the interception. And, I mean, it was a good fade. Wasn't perfectly thrown, and Rangeview took, looks like number 16 for Rangeview limping off the field there. Wonder what's going on there. But, again, great athletic play there by Rangeview.
You know, I think, Steven, that Matt Hotelling wants that back. He kind of floated that in a little too much, and Robert Orban had no chance on that ball. But sadly, that's a blown opportunity in the red zone. Red zone turnovers cannot happen. And Rangeview will come out now, 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line. Darian Odegaard in the shotgun again. Odegaard. And that'll be, I think, a false start on Rangeview. They're trying to make Regis jump early, but it might have backfired, Steven.
You know, Jake, it looked like he was a little extended, and you could see everybody was kind of standing still. Rangeview wanted to go, and Regis was just unflinching. That's great discipline by such a young line for Regis.
One of the most important battles to win is indeed the penalty battle, and if Regis can do that consistently over the season, they'll put themselves in a lot of good opportunities. So it'll be 1st and 15 for Rangeview from the 15-yard line. Darian Odegaard under center. They seem to like this formation a lot. Shotgun with 2 receivers to the left, flanked by two halfbacks on either side of him. Here's Darian Odegaard, and it's going to be a handoff to number 2, Keitridge Griffin. And Griffin will get maybe 3 yards.
And Jake, I keep getting a little butterflies in my stomach when I see Rangeview. Looks like they have a lot of room, and then Raiders just getting in there with 1 or 2 men and just shutting it down. It's great defensive play by the Raiders if they can hold them there.
Tackle by J.J. Kilgore, a good baseball buddy of mine. And Keitridge Griffin, the runner of that last handoff, is only 5'4", so he's a speedy kind of Darren Sproles athlete. Lot of speed there. Odegaard in the shotgun again, flanked by 2 halfbacks on either side of him. Odegaard, it's going to be a handoff to number 22, Patrick Hall.
And you know, Jake, you're watching these hit by Regis play after play. They've got to be demoralizing to these Rangeview players because it's not like they're just setting them on the ground. They're giving them good hits every time they put them on the ground and send a message.
Raiders doing a good job limiting the big runs as of so far. 3rd and 7 for Rangeview. 6:20 left in the first quarter of play. The score is 0-0.
Have we seen a pass from Rangeview yet, Jake, other than that missed one?
No, that was the only one so far, Steven. And now it'll be ball on the 23-yard line. The 30-yard line is the yard to make. Here's another shotgun. Halfback on either side of Odegaard. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Odegaard snaps, drops back in the pocket, throw right to number 29, and he's got a big green space in front of him. And that's a first down for Rangeview.
And you know, Jake, he slipped right out of that tackle as you saw that the Regis defender got his shoe. But you got to get the defender, Jake, because he just ran right out of his shoe and kept going there. Great play by Rangeview.
I will say that was a very good pass by Darian Odegaard. That hit him right in stride. Perfect placement. 1st and 10 Rangeview from the 45.
And you know, Jake, what I'm seeing here with Rangeview's a little mixed offense, some West Coast passing with option formations. It's really interesting and fun to watch.
We'll have to see if they maintain their current strategy of running on early downs and passing on long situations. Odegaard, under center. Going to pass left this time, and he's got a receiver. That's number 9, Trevin Newbine, for 8 yards.
And Jake, that was a great play there. The only thing I saw for Rangeview there, he got to go forward. He caught the ball there, took like 2 yard steps back, and then decided to look to run forward. And you just got to take that and run forward and just take on the defender head-to-head there. You'll get a lot more yards that way, and they probably could have had a first down.
Rangeview taking advantage of the Regis defensive backs playing off the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 2 now. Rangeview still in their patented shotgun formation. Odegaard. And some miscommunication, a late movement, and that's a miscommunicated throw, but it goes over the head of, that's number 42.
Intended for Trevor Newbine, number 9.
I don't know, Jake. That play is a little confusing because for how fast he had to step up and throw that, if you saw, he got right in the middle of those linemen there. I don't think a receiver could even get down that far.
No, it was miscommunication. His receiver on the left side did a curl route, and he threw it as if it were going to be a fly. But now it's 3rd and short from the Regis Jesuit 47-yard line. Odegaard, 2 receivers on the left. It's going to be a handoff to number 22, and he will be short. First down. Patrick Hall could not make it for a first down.
And we'll see what they do here, Jake. Looks like they're going to go for it based on the personnel on the field.
Stephen, I would say in high school football, even though we're in the first quarter, I'd say this is definitely a situation where you go for it. Punting will maybe gain you 30 net yards with a good punter, and that's something you can't count on in high school. So they will go for it, especially because it's only a yard. But here's Odegaard, 1 receiver left, 1 right, a flanker behind the right tight end. Odegaard, it's going to be an option right, and he'll pitch it now, and that's a first down Rangeview. Armand Brown with the Rangeview first down.
And you know, Jake, I don't mean to toot my own horn here, but I kind of saw that option play coming. I'm surprised the Raiders defense didn't there. It worked so well the first time to get those yards. And
it'll be first down and 10 for Rangeview. The drive stays alive. They have the ball on the Regis Jesuit 33-yard line. Under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. The score is still 0-0. Rangeview, 2 receivers left, 1 right. Odegaard, flanked by halfbacks on each side, and he's going to keep it and pitch it, and that was very dangerous to being forward, but he's got a huge lane, and no one will catch Keeter Griffin to the end zone. That's a Rangeview Raider touchdown. 3:48 in the first quarter, Rangeview up 6-0.
You know, Jake, that's absolutely fantastic.
33 yards, touchdown.
That's absolutely a fantastic play there, Jake. You got to take, that's a perfect example of risk and reward there. Risky pitch for a big reward and first score of the game, obviously.
On to kick the extra point for Rangeview is Ben Handy. He also does starting kickoff duties, and Zach Zeus, the backup quarterback, will be the holder.
Timeout is called by
There's a
Rangeview
timeout called by Rangeview. Stephen, I find that questionable because it's just an extra point, and you might need that timeout later in the game, but I guess if there was some miscommunication, it's a good call.
You know, Jake, the only thing I can see with this timeout is if it's going to be a fake field goal and they're going for 2, there's no real point in calling a timeout and an extra point, especially with your kicking team out there. It's not like their defense is out there setting up the entire next series.
I agree, Steven, and I will say Keetrick Griffin on that last touchdown scamper of 33 yards was extremely fast. I believe he is a lot like Darren Sproles now because he has that quick lightning reflex that just propelled him to the end zone. I mean, he outran several Regis defenders and kept to the sideline.
And, Jake, he is a speedy fellow. We'll see what Rangeview does here with that timeout, if it actually mattered at all.
An extra point in high school is about a 20-yard field goal. And, Regis encroached, I believe. I think that was number 54. Is that Alex Pena? I'm not sure. It is encroachment on the Raiders, so now the ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. Excuse me, that was number 45, John Kozlowski.
And Jake, I don't know, maybe that could be a good thing if, I don't know, really Rangeview here having 2 pauses. It'd almost be the perfect time to go for 2.
And here comes Darian Odegaard out for the 2-point conversion since they're only a yard away. Odegaard flanked by Keetrick Griffin on the left. 2 receivers left, 1 right. And he's going to pitch it out to Keetrick Griffin, and he will run untouched into the end zone. 8-0 Rangeview, 3:48 left.
And there it is, Jake. You have the you have that quick 2-point conversion. That's what they were talking about. As I said, it'd be the perfect time to do it, and they did it.
That hurts for Regis because now a touchdown does not even guarantee a tie. In high school football especially, you can't count that extra points will be made, so when a 2-point conversion is made, it's very damaging.
Definitely is, Jake. We'll see how the Raiders respond here on this first. Had a great offensive possession their first time until that interception in the end zone, so we'll see if they can march down the field again, hopefully this time get a touchdown, keep this game close.
Kicking off for Rangeview, number 1, Ben
High school
Hanley.
kickoffs are from the 40-yard line, and to refresh everyone's memory, if the ball goes into the end zone, even if it's fielded in the end zone, it is an automatic touchback, so you can't run out a ball from the end zone. Still, kickoffs are prime scoring opportunities for the receiving team, and Ben Handy will kick this off for Rangeview. Handy, a strong kick that will carry into the end zone. Regis Jesuit will have the ball. 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line.
1st and 10 at their 20-yard line.
And we'll see, Jake, what the Raiders can do here. I wonder if they'll send back out, I'm sorry, what's your young quarterback's name, Jake?
Matt Hotelling.
Matt Hotelling, or if we'll get to see
Zach Heath.
Zach Heath. So it'll be really exciting to see if the Raiders give Rangeview a look at a different quarterback and see how they respond, or if they stick with Hotelling, who had a great drive other than that one play.
And the quarterback is Matt Hotelling. Hotelling will be back, and Regis in a typical ace formation. Receiver on the left, receiver on the right. Tight end flank on the left. Man in motion. And it's a hand up the middle to Grant Neal. That's a gain of 1 or 2, if anything.
And you know, Jake, Regis needs to keep that strong run game going and see if they can really get anything going there. Those 1 or 2 yards can matter in the long run, but you do got to break up some plays. The first down is 10, and 4 2-yard runs only makes 8.
2nd and 9, and there's a stoppage of time. I think that's
officials timeout
on the field. I'm not sure what for. Okay, now we're going to start. Hotelling under center. 1 receiver on the right. Tight end flank on both the right and the left sides. And in the backfield, I think that might be Ian Lee. And there's a flag on the play. So it looks like this play. Oh, that was Chase Bertinelli on the carry. And if it stands, it would be about a 3-yard pickup. But I think either it was an illegal formation or Rangeview was offside. Steven, did you see anything?
I think the Raiders had an illegal formation, Jake. I didn't Rangeview. Oh, excuse me, Jake. I thought Regis Jesuit had an illegal formation, which they did, as the ref just confirmed.
An illegal formation it is. Probably a good call, considering that both sideline linesmen called the same penalty.
After the penalty, 2nd down and 14.
So we'll see what Regis can do here, Jake. I imagine they'll go to maybe a play-action pass because there's a possibility of run here. I don't know if Rangeview will believe it as much, but
Hotelling under center. 2nd and 14 for the Raiders from the 17-yard line. Hotelling looks like he might audible, or if he's going to look to the sideline. Under 3 minutes to go, 2:50 in the first quarter of play. Rangeview up 8-0. Here's Hotelling. Man in motion, left, back to the right, and he's going to hand it off. That's number 20, Chuk Ubina, and that's a big game for the Raiders up to the 30-yard line, almost a first down.
I think he might have gotten it, Jake, actually, based on where this referee is positioned. I think he might have the first down, and that was a great trick play there. I thought Hotelling was going to take a play-action pass, and we can have a play-action pass / play-action to a run. I mean, when you confuse the defense that well, you're definitely going to get some good yards, and that will be a first, Jake.
Chuk Ubina, a sophomore, very fast and very talented. Again, one of the players that we'll be expecting great things from in the next couple of years. Here's Hotelling now, under center. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. That's Chase Bertinelli for a gain of 2, and he'll bring it out to the Regis Jesuit 33-yard line.
And Jake, E-Trader possession started off with just chipping away at a couple of yards there, and we'll see if Raiders can keep capitalizing on these possessions, but chipping away at the yards is a good thing to do. It's definitely not going backwards.
Regis with some quick subs. Number 17, A.J. Shaw coming in to play left tight end. Number 18, Kevin Ware, wide receiver on the left side now. Here's Hotelling under center. Grant Neal in the backfield. A.J. Shaw moving right to left, and Hotelling will scramble out to the left, and he's going to be sacked. That's number 64, Trent Manns. A big loss for Regis Jesuit on that.
Yeah, Jake, that's definitely going to kick the morale out of the Raiders, and they're going to need quite a big play here. We'll see if they just go into the shotgun formation, which I'm imagining, and send out a couple receivers and see, because it is third down, is it not?
It is indeed, Stephen. Third and 15 for Regis Jesuit. Hotelling will still line up under center. Hotelling, receiver on the left, receiver on the right, tight end flank on the left side. And here's a snap, a drop back pass. He's looking over the right side and overshoots his receiver. That's number 19, Robert Orban. And Regis Jesuit will be forced to punt.
You know, Jake, you really can't do that because giving Rangeview what looks like will be a good possession unless the Raiders have a fantastic punt. It's going to be brutal. They're going to need to hold them off this next possession in short yardage, which I believe the Regis Jesuit defense is capable of, Jake. But I don't know. It's going to be tough.
Punting for the Raiders this season, number 88, Sebastian Harris, a senior and a fellow friend of mine. I actually competed with him for the punting job freshman year. But here's Sebastian now, kicking from his 20-yard line. A good high punt, and it'll be caught at the Rangeview 30-yard line. Quick coverage on that, and that'll be taken down.
You know, Jake, that's the punt they needed. That's the exact punt I was talking about to keep the momentum at least partially on their side and not get totally deflated. I mean, great coverage there on the punt as well.
That's a 45-yard punt for Sebastian Harris, and we are under 1 minute to go in the first quarter, 42.6 seconds precisely, as Rangeview takes over for their third possession of the game. First and 10 on their own 32-yard line. To recap, Rangeview's first drive ended in a punt, and their second drive was a touchdown off of a 33-yard scamper by Keetrick Griffin. So here's Darian Odegaard again. That is number 27, Armand Brown, his halfback this time. Odegaard, he's going to take it up the middle, a quarterback scamper, and he's going to cut it upfield for a good gain of maybe 7 yards.
You know, Jake, those quarterback scampers look like they're going to trouble the Raiders all night. Regis might need to go into a quarterback spy formation. Do you think that might be a good idea?
Regis is built for play-action passes, I think, Steven, so it might be hard for the Raiders to adjust to a different type of offense. If Regis can just get some good drives going and get some points on the board, they can start playing relaxed and hopefully won't feel the pressure of the scoreboard. Here's Odegaard now. 5 seconds left. We'll see if he gets the last playoff, and he does, and it's an option left. Pitch out. Ooh, dangerous. But that's Armand Brown for a first down, and that is the end of the first quarter. At the end of one, ladies and gentlemen, from Hinckley High School at Aurora Public Schools Stadium, Rangeview leads 8-0. We're going to take a quick commercial break.
Rangeview in the lead by 8.
We'll be right back.
Hello, Jake. I'm really excited for the second quarter here. Welcome back, Regis Jesuit Raider fans, to RJ Live. Let's see what Rangeview can do here with the ball, starting on their own 43.
Odegaard will take the first play from snap and fire down the sidelines. Had a receiver in number 9, Trevon Newbon, but thankfully the pass hits the ground, incomplete, 2nd and 10.
And you know, Jake, that's an aggressive play for the first play of the quarter, but that's exactly what you want to do. See if you can catch your opponent maybe off guard at the very start or after a turnover. So, great play by Rangeview, great play calling.
Rangeview, Steven, I would definitely say looks like a running team with some option mixes in there. But from what I've seen so far, they can pass the ball if needed to. Darian Odegaard lining up in the shotgun. Halfback on either side of him. 2 receivers left, 1 right. 2nd and 10. And there's 2 flags out. Looks like to be an illegal formation. But the play as stands looks to be a 5-yard run.
That's definitely coming back, Jake, because I was watching the line, and the Regis Jesuit Raiders definitely did not flinch or come into the neutral zone.
So the ball will be moved even further back for Rangeview. Hopefully, we'll wait for the official call. And it is indeed an illegal formation call on Rangeview.
After the penalty,
2nd and 15. We'll see if Rangeview passes or runs. Steven, what do you think?
You know, Jake, I think Rangeview is going to go to the option with a pitch because the Raiders have not been able to guard that all night.
2nd and 15 from the 39-yard line. 11:50 left in the second quarter of play. Odegaard. Halfbacks on either side. 2 receivers left, 1 right. They like this formation a lot. And it's a handoff. No, he fakes it. It faked me out, but thankfully the Raiders get to him behind the line. That's number 34 playing both sides, Grant Neal, for the big loss on the quarterback keeper, 3rd and even longer.
And Jake, if you saw that, number 2 for Rangeview was way out open for the pitch and just got too far ahead of the quarterback to make it really possible. But Raiders do have to watch that. Even though it was a great defensive play, they could have got burned there.
3rd and 19 for Rangeview. Regis, as a defensive unit, needs to get stops on these situations. You cannot give up first downs. Hopefully the defense has a prevent sort of set up for this. Odegaard, 2 receivers right, 1 left. Armand Brown behind him, and he's going to look left and throw, and that was way above the receiver, but there's a flag. Oh, no, was that pass interference on number 32, Daniel Talley? I don't think that pass would have been completed, even without the little bit of contact that there was.
I would say that was uncatchable, Jake. We'll see what the call is, but that was one of those quick plays, and it wasn't even near the receiver.
And it's going to be pass interference on Daniel Talley for a first down. Ladies and gentlemen, that's absolutely unacceptable. If you want to win football games, you cannot make mistakes like that on 3rd down. That's painful. It's a first down for Rangeview now from the 50-yard line.
To the 50-yard line.
You know, Jake, that's one of the setbacks of having a young team. They're excited. They have a lot of energy, but they do commit a lot of penalties. So,
1st and 10 from the 50-yard line for Darian Odegaard with the new life that Rangeview now has. Odegaard, he's going to drop back and throw down the middle, number 32. Oh, thankfully overshoots him again, misses his target. Josh Gibbs, too high, but Steven, he had a lot of green in front of him.
These quick passes, Jake, the Raiders just aren't ready for them. And, I mean, there's not a lot of teams that can really shut down the West Coast with pass defense. And it looks like that's what they're running, just quick, short routes to get it to open receivers. So it's hard to shut down. You really have to get to the quarterback, and with a fast-scrambling quarterback, it's very hard to do.
When you have to worry about a quarterback that can run in and pass, it's extremely difficult to try and stop both. What Rangeview is doing so far is made a pretty successful mix of option runs, handoffs, and quick passes. Trips ace to the left, number 32. It's going to be a double handoff pitch, and he's got a receiver wide down the middle. That's number 29. And Trevon Newbine on the pass to Arhelius Hughes. A trick play that
Aurelius
worked that pays
Hughes,
huge
number
dividends for
29,
Rangeview,
on the
and they're going to
reception.
have first and goal.
Shane Moody
Jake, that
covering
play
on
was
the play,
absolutely
but the Raiders are
fantastic, and
gonna
I
have a
love
first
watching
and
football
goal
like that.
at the
It's just
Regis
such a,
5-yard
that was a
line.
fantastic play by Rangeview. Got total commitment from the Raiders defense, and it didn't even have to be a good throw. He had so much room around him, the receiver.
Aurelius Hughes he actually came back for the pass. That's how wide open he was. Number 9, Trevin Newbine, just kind of heaved it up. He didn't lead the receiver at all, but Hughes was so wide open that he could come back for the ball and still catch it without getting tackled. Steven, I'd say this is a dangerous spot for Regis. If they want to be in this game and especially improve the team morale, they need to stop them from scoring a touchdown here.
You know, Jake, they definitely do need to stop him here because this would knock the wind out of the sails, but more importantly, and put the game out of reach for almost a half.
8-0, 10:46 left in the second quarter. There seems to be an official timeout on the field. The refs are getting some water. And while we're here, we'd like to thank the Regis Jesuit Rowdies for their support of the team and the few Regis students that did manage to make the trek out here to Aurora. I think that's a pretty big student section now. That's good.
And the Raiders,
First
Raiders
and
up to the
5.
First and goal at the 5.
The 5-yard line. A touchdown to score. They can't get a first down otherwise. Odegaard, handoff, left side. Armand Brown takes it inside the 5-yard line
near the 2. Joe Bozeman
to the
making the
2-yard line, 2nd and 2.
Jake, that was great defense by the Raiders, but
outside the
that's over
2.
half the distance to the goal, so that's why goal line defense is so tough, is even when you play fantastic defense, the opponent's gaining critical yards.
Very true indeed, Stephen. From the 2-yard line, Rangeview will stay in a shotgun, reminding me of the Florida Gators with old Timmy Tebow. Odegaard, flanked by halfbacks on each side. He'll drop back now, and he's going to throw left, and the receiver
Odegaard's
completely
pass
dropped the ball.
ruled incomplete.
Trevin Newbine had a touchdown, had it clang off his arms.
You know, Jake, that's still dangerous for the Raiders, and Raiders need to take that as a message to shut it down. It's really important that the Raiders stop doing this.
3rd down and 2. It seems that Rangeview is not used to doing anything other than a shotgun because this is clearly a goal line situation, and they're still going to line up in a shotgun. Trips left. It's flanked to the left by Armand Brown. Here's Odegaard running it, and he will go untouched into the end zone. That's a touchdown, Rangeview. And the score here with exactly 10 minutes left in the first half. Rangeview 14, Regis nothing. Steven, this is getting worse and worse. Regis looked helpless on defense on that play. Absolutely gutted up by Darian Odegaard.
And Jake, you know, it's just really unfortunate when you have great defense and it's absolutely, you can't do anything to stop Odegaard. Are they going, oh no, they are kicking. All right.
Odegaard just came out to replace the previous guy that was doing it, Zach Zeus, and Ben Handy to kick. The kick is up, and it is good. With 10 minutes to go in the first half of play, Rangeview up on Regis Jesuit 15-0. We're going to pause for a quick break, but we'll be right back on the Regis Jesuit Raiders Radio Network. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our football broadcast here with Steven Snyder, Tommy Raines, and Skylar Morris. I'm Jake Leonard. Here to kick off now is Ben Handy for the Rangeview from the 40-yard line. Handy's last kickoff went into the end zone. We'll see if this one has similar results. It will not. Receiving for the Raiders, number 20, Chuck Obina, will take it out to the 25-yard line. So Regis will start with decent field position.
Number 22 makes
You know, Jake, that's a great return in high school especially, and it's just fantastic. You got to get that momentum back, especially being down 15-0 with only 10 minutes to go in the half.
The Regis offense has not looked bad. It's just that when they've been in pressure situations, the results have not fallen their way. Hotaling will still be quarterback, so it's clear that he is the Regis starting quarterback. 2 receivers on the left. 3 receivers on the left. One of them's close to the line of scrimmage. Here's Hotaling under center. And he's going to roll out to the left. He's looking for a man. He got slammed. Absolutely slammed. But the ball is caught. It's caught by John Schmidt. And John Schmidt will take it to the end zone. Touchdown, Regis.
Jake, I wanted to go out and hug Matt Hoteling there. He just stuck there in the pocket, kept his guts, and made a fantastic pass.
Matt Hoteling absolutely destroyed on that pass. That's a 75-yard touchdown pass, the first of Matt Hoteling's young high school career, hopefully the first of many. Regis, just like that, right back in this game.
You know, Jake, that's so exciting, and that's the play they needed.
9:42 left in the first half. Out to do the kicking duties, senior Harrison Thrasher. The ball will be held by Sebastian Harris. The kick is up. Harrison Thrasher's kick has more than enough juice, and it's 15-6, but there's a flag on the play, so wait up.
I think, Jake, that might be running into the kicker, which will be enforced on the kickoff.
That'd be beneficial to Regis. Again, that last touchdown caught by number 4, John Schmidt, a junior, thrown by sophomore Matt Hoteling, the first points of this 2012 campaign for the Raiders. The call is a personal foul, running into the kicker, roughing the kicker on Rangeview. So the penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. When Steven, that means Regis will be kicking off from the Rangeview 45-yard line.
And you know, Jake, you really wonder if Regis is just going to take the opportunity to kick it out of bounds, or if they are going to try a shorter one and try and pin them deep, but I imagine they'll just kick it out of the back.
We'll see what to do. Looks like the Raiders don't even know what's going to happen because they're all lining back where they usually do.
9:42 to go here in the first half.
And yes, indeed, the ball will be at the Rangeview 45, and the Regis kickoff team almost in disbelief at their good fortune of kicking off from such a close spot. That'll be
45-yard line after the penalty.
Junior Vince Sabin doing the kicking duties, also a baseball player. Again, with 9:42 left in the first half of play, Rangeview 15, Regis Jesuit 7.
You know, I wonder, Jake, I really don't know, but just to add some spark to this game, I think they will kick it out of the back of the end zone. You think he can make a field goal?
Vince Sabin, I actually don't know too much about his kicking abilities, but if he beat out Harrison Thrasher, he obviously has one heck of a leg. And we'll see what the Raiders do here if they want to maybe try to float a kick up, possibly get an onside recovery. I mean, you have nothing to lose, but here comes Vince Sabin. And the kick will go into the end zone for a touchback. Rangeview ball on the 20-yard line.
It goes in the end zone.
Little pushing and shoving going on there, Jake, around the 25-yard line. I mean, emotions are getting invested in this game because it is such an emotional game and has had so many swings and momentum. Hopefully that won't continue and both teams can stay disciplined.
Real quick, we'd like to just let our audience once again know about Quick Score because we want to get as many viewers as possible or many followers as possible of Max Preps.
And just go to your Max Preps home team page for all you Raiders fans. That is Regis Jesuit on Max Preps. It'll have a link to the Quick Score, and we are actually putting up live updates for the game. So even if you can't watch our broadcast for the entire time, you can take your mobile phone and keep up with your Raiders.
There's a handoff to Patrick Hall, 3 yards. And again, for all the people that don't know, Quick Score will be a way to follow Regis wherever you are on your mobile device, and you're actually helping us out I believe,
Regis.
Steven, if we get the most followers in
It's gonna be
Colorado,
second down and 7.
we get some money for our broadcasting club.
$1,000 for the school, actually, Jake. And the game that won it last week was actually Valor versus Mullen. Both schools got $1,000, so it is possible for a Colorado school to do it.
Yeah, come on, ladies and gentlemen. We can beat Valor and Mullen. We're the best football community in the state and school. 2nd and 7 on the 23-yard line. Odegaard back, going to throw pump fake. He's going to scramble out to the left, and he's got a lane. No, he doesn't. Sacked.
Odegaard,
Lucky to hold on to the ball. Sacked at the 18-yard line for a loss.
Grant Neal is just ferocious. He is
Neal.
absolutely ferocious,
On the
Jake. That's the
quarterback for
only
Regis.
word I can find to describe him right now.
Honey Badger?
Honey Badger, exactly. Grant Neal is the Honey Badger of the Regis Jesuit team on both sides of the ball.
It takes a real trooper to play both sides of the ball. I don't know if everyone in the audience
3rd down
understands
and
how
12.
exhausting that is. Every play pretty much other than special teams. 3rd and 11 now. Odegaard in the shotgun once again. Keetrick Griffin on his near right. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Odegaard. Odegaard looking quick left, and his receiver was not looking for him. He was going to throw a quick pass, but his receiver was not there. So it's a sack. Antonio Brodus, and it'll be 4th down for Rangeview.
I keep hearing these names from the Regis Jesuit defensive line, Jake, and it is a Honey Badger line. These guys are all ferocious, tenacious, and they earn the black shirts. They were in the scrimmage last week.
4th and 12 for Rangeview from the 14-yard line. Less than 8 minutes to go in the first half. Ben Handy will be punting. Handy gets the ball. The punt is up. It looks like it's going to drop at around the 45-yard line, but this time it bounces back. Make sure Regis is away from it. I don't know if it touched Regis. Okay, there's a flag on the play. But, Steven, that's very dangerous because if that hits a Regis special teams player that doesn't know it, Rangeview can get the ball.
I think the penalty might be that Rangeview tried to kick it off a Regis player, forward momentum, but we'll see what the call is. I imagine the Raiders will have the ball in fantastic field position based on what that was looking like.
That is the Regis Jesuit Raiders.
I'm sorry, Jake. I keep forgetting both teams are the Raiders, and both teams wear a form of red and either black and white. So, I mean, it can be very confusing.
This is the only time during the year that this will happen. For the rest of the year, you'll hear us refer to Regis Jesuit as simply the Raiders. But we'll wait for the official ruling of this call. Seems to be quite a discussion about what happened.
And, you know, Jake, I was just kind of going over the game in my head. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Regis has run every play from under center. And Rangeview, have they run any from under center?
I can't think so. I think it just shows the beautiful contrast of different offenses that makes football great. I mean, there are so many different ways to be successful. One team can be, it's all about maximizing what you can do with your team. And well, Steven, you nailed it on the head. The call is kicking the ball, trying to maliciously kick the ball on a Regis player so that it could be fielded by Rangeview. A sharp eye by the official that caught that, and Regis will get the ball on the Rangeview 20-yard line. How do you like that? You start with the ball in the red zone.
Jake, you got to love that. You really think that Regis, if they don't come away with points here, they're going to be extremely disappointed. I imagine they can tie this game or at least come within 1 point, Jake, easily.
I agree, Steven. Matt Hotelling coming out once again under center. 1 receiver left, 1 receiver right, tight end flank on the left side. That's A.J. Shaw. Hotelling, man in motion, DeJour Elliott. Hotelling, handoff up the middle. Chuk Ubanaw for a good gain of, looks to be 6 yards. So 2nd and 4.
And Jake, normally 6 yards is a good gain. In the red zone, that's a fantastic gain. The Raiders do that a couple more times, they'll be in fantastic position. In fact, they're in fantastic position now. 2nd and 4, only 14 yards from the end zone. You can't ask for more than that.
6:52 left in the first half. Here's Hotelling under center. 1 receiver left, 2 receivers left, 1 receiver right. Hotelling, handoff to Chuk Ubanaw. Once again, takes it inside the 10-yard line. And that'll be a Regis first down, first and goal.
Jake, he is running over players like a train and not stopping. I think when I hear him running, he's like a train. Chook, chook.
Regis with a pretty balanced offensive running attack of Chuk Ubenaw, Chase Bertinelli, and Grant Neal. Ubenaw will stay in. Here's Matt Hotelling. Now in an I formation, the fullback is number 27, Jacob Van Leeuw. Hotelling, one receiver left, one right. Under center. Hotelling, handoff to Chuk Ubenaw. He's got a big green space in front of him. Touchdown, Regis Jesuit. Booming his way into the end zone with 6-12. Regis Jesuit scores once again, 15-13 for the time being.
And Jake, you saw that going into the end zone. Chuk running over Regis players, Rangeview players. It didn't matter. He was getting in the end zone. And I think Chuk is really establishing himself as the red zone running back for the Regis Jesuit Raiders.
A beautiful 9-yard scamper by Ubenaw. And we'll see, Steven. It looks like Regis is going to play it safe for now, kick the extra point. And there's a flag on the play. Again, the touchdown by number 20, Chuk Ubenaw, to bring the Raiders within 2 points. The call on the field, encroachment on the defense. So this is similar to what happened when Rangeview decided to go for it. We'll see if Mark Nolan and offensive coordinator Bob McPhee will dial up the pressure and go for it.
You know, Jake, I think that'd be a fantastic call here. Even if you miss it, you feel that they'd still be within 2 points, which is only a field goal away.
And indeed, Hotelling is out on the field. Regis will go for it. I formation, goal line set, something that Rangeview cannot do. Here's Hotelling under center. A.J. Shaw in motion from the right to the left. Hotelling, handoff to Grant Neal, and we are tied, ladies and gentlemen, just like that. Regis Jesuit 15, Rangeview 15, 6:12 to go in the first half. Man, what a swing in the last 10 minutes, Steven.
And you know, Jake, you thought Rangeview had momentum when they were up 15-0. The Raiders have fantastic amounts of momentum now, as coming back down from 15-0 to tie is even more worth it.
The Regis student section has grown by quite a bit. We're very proud to say that there are probably more Regis students here than Rangeview students, and that's just a testament to the spirit of this school. Great to have the support, and great thanks to all of our listeners. It's because of you that fun, awesome clubs like this, student media.
Vince Saban once again will
we hope you stay with us not only for the rest of this game, but all season long as we follow the Regis Jesuit football team, and even beyond that as we go into basketball and hockey season. And the kickoff, Vince Saban. A pretty good kickoff this time. It'll be fielded at the 1-yard line. Number 27, Armand Brown, with a decent gain to the 25-yard line.
And you know, Jake, that was a fantastic run. He was running over people like Chuk was on the Raiders' offense. But Raiders able to stop him there. And if they can hold him, I imagine they'll have tons of momentum going into the second half. And that's really key, Jake.
6:06 left in the first half of play. Ball will start on the 26-yard line for Rangeview. Darian Odegaard once again out in the trademark Rangeview shotgun. I don't think they've run a single play that's been different than this sort of shotgun mix. Odegaard, he's going to option left, and he's going to pitch it. Dangerous, dangerous. Armand Brown will get maybe 2 yards, but Steven, if they keep doing that, you're not always going to catch that close pitch.
And you know, Jake, I was saying that earlier, Jake, that pitch is dangerous because you have to cover that fast quarterback and that running back sitting up there, and it's really hard to get enough men because if you get enough men up there, it opens up the pass game. That's what's so dangerous about an option offense, Jake.
Yes, indeed, Steven. 2nd and 7 from the 28-yard line. Odegaard in the shotgun again. This time there's a flank on the right side. Odegaard with some pump snaps, and it's a handoff. Armand Brown take it for a gain of maybe 4 yards.
Jake, Rangeview, if they can keep this drive together, is absolutely going to just beat the Raiders into the ground, because runs like that of tenacious runs of 2 yards and easy runs of 6 yards, if you get that in your head, your momentum is absolutely gone, and it's turned right back around.
It's 3rd and 3 with the ball on the 33-yard line for Rangeview. Less than 5 minutes to go in the first half of play. We're all tied up 15-15. Odegaard in the shotgun. Interesting kind of escalator thing with the flank and a halfback, and it's a handoff to Armand Brown. Armand Brown up the middle, and he will not get a first down. So a great job by the Regis defense to bend but not break, and it'll be punt time for Rangeview.
Will it, Jake? Because that looks like less than a yard. Do you think they will punt, though?
I think because where they are in the field, Steven, they're on their own 35. I think it'd be pretty crazy to go for it. But, excuse me, what? Okay, they are going to punt. I saw Odegaard, so I wasn't sure if they were going to go for it. But you never know. With Odegaard right there, you could always snap it to him because he's a fast runner, Steven.
Yeah, Jake. I'd really be concerned about Odegaard, Regis defense pointing him out now.
No one was back from Regis to field that punt, and a timeout will be taken by Coach Nolan and the Regis Jesuit coaching staff. We're going to step aside for a quick break here on Regis Jesuit Live. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Aurora Public Schools Stadium. We are at 3:58 to play in the first half. Regis Jesuit tied 15-15 with Rangeview. It'll be 4th down and less than a yard now. Rangeview completely going for it. And this is the first non-shotgun snap I've heard. And it's going to be a direct snap up the middle. And, Steven, that'll be a first down, Rangeview.
And, Jake, that's really... You saw they were just trying to trick them into the punt formation so they could get through there. I'm surprised Regis didn't take another timeout. Honestly, Jake, on that first play, I would have just let Rangeview punt the ball and just taken the consequences from there, because you were in a set, they were pointing out Odegaard, and it looked like Rangeview's going to go for it.
1st and 10 now for Rangeview. Rangeview has 2 timeouts left. Regis Jesuit has 1. And they're doing the same, almost 4 horsemen formation. I don't call that a shotgun. It's some trickery to Armand Brown, and this time it did not work.
Jake, that actually reminds me when their running back number 2 was standing backwards. It reminds me of a Texans kickoff return where 4 guys turned backwards and they just gave one of the guys the ball, and it looks like that's what they were doing there, because you have to cover all 3 men.
It's very unorthodox, and I think with Odegaard coming back on the field, they're going to go back, and right now I see a Rangeview coach screaming at one of the offensive players. Looks like that play was not at all what they drew it up. But here's Odegaard in a shotgun. Halfback on either side of him. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Odegaard, 2:55 left in the first half. He's looking down. He's going to throw right down the middle, and he throws so quickly, Steven, that his receivers don't look back in time.
Actually, Jake, from what it looked like there, I'm surprised the refs didn't catch that. It looks like one of the Regis players had the intended receiver, number 29's jersey, because he kind of spun around rather than looking back for the pass. So maybe bad catch by the refs, maybe good defense by the Raiders.
Either way, we'll take it. 3rd and 11 now for Rangeview. The ball is on the 38-yard line. And, Steven, this is where, when you're in these passing situations, it becomes very difficult to have success at it if you're used to running the ball so much. So we'll see if Rangeview can react to being forced to throw, and now they're going to be forced to take a timeout, and their coach is not happy.
And, Jake, I wouldn't be happy either after a set like that. You have 4 fantastic runs that gave you the first down, and then you just throw it away on a trick play and a poor pass. I mean, that's what kills momentum the most, is bad plays. You can't have the other team kill momentum if you're killing it yourself.
On this fine Thursday night, we'd like to properly celebrate the kickoff of football season, not only in the high school ranks, but in college football. I don't know if we have any live scores. We'll try to get those to you soon, but I know Vanderbilt was hosting South Carolina. It's the best time of the year, in my opinion. Nothing better than fall college football and high school football.
And I assume all our listeners agree, Jake, because they are passionate about us to be watching the Regis Jesuit Raiders on their laptops and following us on Quick Score. So I bet everybody loves football season, Jake. You can't not, especially when your school's playing.
Yeah, we can't. We cannot overstate how grateful we are for all the support that we get from all our listeners. Thank you guys all so much. And here with 2:49 left in the first half, Odegaard in a shotgun again, 3rd and 11. Odegaard drops back, one-step drop, pass to number 9, Armand Brown. Quick, but it'll be very close to a first down, a little short. Steven, I think they could very well go for it.
I guarantee they'll go for it, Jake. That's one of my few guarantees is because their offense is rolling on all cylinders. It's kind of in that middle zone where you can't really punt, can't really kick a field goal. It's kind of time to go for it. The game is tied, so you aren't risking too much, and you do have an entire second half of football to play, so we'll see what they do.
2:20 left in the first half. They will stay in a shotgun on this 4th and 2 situation on their own 47-yard line. Here's Odegaard. Snap, it's going to be a handoff to Armand Brown. Cuts it left. He will make the first down, but there's a flag. There's a flag. Hold up, folks. I think that's a holding call on Rangeview, and Regis will breathe again.
And, Jake, now I think they're going to have to punt because if you can't go for it on an 11-yard 4th down, because that'll just be too dangerous for the Rangeview to give the possession to the Raiders like that. I'm going to assume it is holding, Jake.
All right, I started the year off on a good prediction note. So it'll be 4th and 12 with 2 minutes and 5 seconds left. Steven, Regis will be forced to utilize their 2-minute offense.
And, Jake, I do think they'll be forced to utilize their 2-minute offense, but it's always nice starting with a little shorter field in a 2-minute offense rather than having to drive 98 or 99 yards like all those memorable NFL Super Bowl moments.
Moves the ball back to the 34.
I think fielding the punt is Chuk Ubanaw and Ben Handy to punt. Exactly 2 minutes left. Handy, a good snap, almost blocked, but it does get the punt off cleanly. And the punt ball bounces backwards, but there's a flag up, so I think that's a block in the back if I were to guess on Regis.
I was going to say exactly that, Jake. I think we saw the exact same block.
So sadly, that'll force the ball farther back. The flag is at the 35. Regis will make the field a little bigger for them to begin. 1 minute, 48 seconds for the Raiders to try to get some final points on the board in this first half of play.
Absolutely fantastic discipline by the Raiders, Jake, there. I know you said he was almost blocked, but if you saw that player, he ran up, stuck his hands out, but came within no danger of roughing the punter in order to give them a first down. Knew his team needed the ball back, so just fantastic discipline there by the Regis Jesuit Raiders.
2 for 2 on the year. It is an illegal block on the back, and Regis will start, I believe, from either their own. Yeah, so Regis will get the ball on their 25-yard line, 75 yards to go for the end zone. And we'll see how Matt Hotelling will function
the ball will be marked
in his first
line.
2-minute drill, 1:48 left in the first half. Here's Hotelling. 2 receivers left. Tight end flank on the left. Under center. Rangeview shifting their defense to a 3-4 the last second. Hotelling rolling out left. He's got some room. He's going to throw it down the field to Robert Orban. And there is a pass interference flag. Oh, that's number 9. Trevin Newbon is furious, but Steven, they did knock Robert Orban from his path. I think that's a good call.
You know, Jake, I think that's a great call, but with that, I think also that was some great acting by Robert Orban. He really sold that one because I don't know if that ball was catchable by Robert there, but he kind of ran into the defender, stumbled back a little, and gave himself a real chance to draw that flag.
Steven, I think there is no penalty in football more subjective than the pass interference penalty. It can go either way, and there are 2 fouls on the way. There's defensive pass interference on Rangeview. So it will be a 15-yard penalty on Rangeview. Regis will now get the ball on their 40-yard line. 1:42 left to play. Steven, that does help.
That definitely helps, Jake. when you can take 6 seconds and gain 15 yards. Any team will take that any day, Jake.
Hotelling lines up under center once again. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right, 1 left. Tight end flank on the left side. I think that's Chuck Obenaw lining behind him at halfback. It's going to be a handoff to Chuck Obenaw. He's got a big lane on the field. Oh, hurdling, taking it to the Rangeview 33-yard line, and a late flag. Steven, did you see what that flag was?
You know, Jake, if I were going to guess it, I might guess unnecessary roughness on number 27 with a helmet-to-helmet low hit. That'd be my only guess, though. We'll see what the call is. We haven't missed a penalty yet, so fingers crossed.
Sideline warning on Rangeview. Looks like the undisciplined Raiders, Rangeview Raiders that is, have been getting to the refs. And 1:34 left now. Regis has a very promising drive. Hotelling under center. Ball on the Rangeview 33-yard line. Man in motion, number 4. There's no 14 on this roster, but here's Chuck Obenaw taking it inside the 20. Another flag. I think that one's against Regis, Steven.
You know, Jake, we'll see. I didn't see any fouls there. Watching Chuck Obenaw, Jake, if you watch his running style really closely and how he's just powering through men and his speed, and even look at his build, he reminds me of a Marcus Dupree in high school and college. Absolute fantastic running back, running fantastically. So Chuck really is, I feel like Chuck is one of the future stars of the Regis Jesuit Raiders.
This one's holding against the Raiders. I see Coach Bob McPhee absolutely furious. I'm not sure whether it's directed towards the referees or his own players. But regardless, Regis will now be forced to have a first down and 20. 1 minute and 21 seconds left as penalty time does not get put back on. Hotelling under center. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Ball on the Rangeview 42. In motion, number 19, Robert Orban, right to left. He'll throw, Hotelling throwing it up. Robert Orban missed his block, but still gain of about 10 for the Raiders.
And Jake, that screen pass, it was pretty obvious Hotelling looking that way the whole time, but Rangeview really was not expecting that play, and that's why it was so successful. And that's the way you win football games, doing the unexpected and taking risks.
Regis going no huddle, 45 seconds left. They only have 1 timeout. Here's Hotelling rolling out to the right. He is looking. He's got no one down the field. That pass is quite incomplete, and it'll be 3rd down and 12.
And you know, Jake, that's just getting his feet set and getting comfortable. He did it earlier in the game on that touchdown throw, and he's had a couple throws, but he also had a couple throws where he gets nervous, and I think that's just part of the experience that he'll gain over the years. I can see him becoming a fantastic quarterback in the future for the Raiders.
Absolutely, Steven. Matt Hotelling, we're expecting nothing but great things for him. The pressure of jumping into the starting role can be absolutely astounding, but he's stepping in after Jake Leathers decided to quit football. Hotelling became the starter, only a sophomore. 37 seconds left. 3rd and 10, ball on the Rangeview 33-yard line. Here's Hotelling, dropping back, 5-step drop. Looking right, looking left. It's up, and it's intercepted. Overshot Robert Orban just a bit, and the ball will go back over to Rangeview.
Jake, I honestly don't see Rangeview being able to score here with the type of offense they run. They don't have, unless they break open a big run on an option pitch, I really don't see them having any chance of scoring. I imagine they'll probably just take a couple of runs, run out the clock, and head into the locker room with a tie game, and try to reset their offense to take this momentum away from the Regis Jesuit Raiders.
Not a terrible result for Regis Jesuit because, as you said, Stephen, only 30 seconds left, and we don't really see Rangeview as a deep field threat. We'll see right now if they decide to just run out the clock. He's lining up under center, so Stephen, I think he's going to take a knee. This is the only play I can really remember other than their weird formation. And he will take a knee, so we're going to head into halftime with the score 15-15.
Takes the knee on the play.
And I think that will be the end of the half unless they have to run another play.
I believe they're going to run another play just to be safe, Jake, because the last thing you want to do is have confusion at the end where you can't go into the locker room, and you have to focus on discipline issues rather than how you want to play.
So Rangeview heading to the half. The first half of play is over. Once again, Regis Jesuit 15, Rangeview 15. We'll join you back in about 15 minutes for the exciting conclusion of our opening season game.
Welcome, Regis Jesuit. We're here during the half with our own senior Andrew Reel.
What's happening, guys?
How's it going, Andrew?
It's going good. Tommy, how are you?
I'm doing well. I've been producing this game, and we decided we'd pick someone, luckily, from the crowd who would offer some insight for the game at this point. What have you seen so far?
Well, to me, I got here a little bit late, but it seems like mostly during the first 2 quarters, it seems like both teams was feeding off the big play. It was big pass after big pass, which led to some pretty big touchdowns. Although, towards the end of the second quarter, it seemed like Regis was really starting to put together a good drive until, unfortunately, Matt Hotailing threw that pick.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but luckily there was only so much time left. It didn't give Rangeview any time to do anything with it, so that was good.
Nope, that great reader D, spearheaded by the defensive ends, Grant Neal and Antonio Broadus, kept them pretty good. Got to the quarterback, made some things happen.
Absolutely. Seeing a back-to-back sacks there was incredible, just giving the Regis defense some confidence and showing Rangeview they're not here to mess around, getting in their face, showing their quarterback to, be scared.
Well, no doubt, Tommy. Being a former player, I can tell you that is huge. That brings not only the 2 sacks, but it also brings a lot of momentum into it. And it will definitely allow not only the defense, but the offense and the special teams to feed off that momentum heading into the second half.
Absolutely. And, of course, Coach Nolan, he's running a tight shift over there. And it'll be interesting to see how Regis comes out this second half because they did start slow. I know you came in late, but they had to kind of catch up, what with Rangeview tacking on those 2 extra points early on. But Regis responded, and so it'll be interesting to see how this one ends up. Very close so far.
Well, no doubt, Tommy, but just looking at that momentum they're going into the second half or going into the halftime with, I think Regis for sure is going to come out with some swagger. I know this team, I know this staff, and they're going to coach us to victory coming up in this second half.
Can't wait, Andrew. Well, thanks for stopping in, and we appreciate you being a part of Regis Radio.
It's always a pleasure, Tommy.
Yeah, we're always looking for people who want to get involved, and anyone who wants to get involved actually with broadcasting in any way can certainly talk to Mr. Dawkins. Mr. Dawkins, Adam Dawkins, send him an email at adawkins@regisjesuit.com if you want to be a part of Regis Jesuit Radio. And I think other than that, that'll be it for us. Thanks again, Andrew.
Thanks for having me, guys.
No problem. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back to resume the second half.
Skylar, you got to give me a countdown. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Aurora Public School Stadiums. We're just about ready to start the second half of play. Regis 15-15. The moon is out, and I think let's see what time it is. 7:25. I could not think of better football weather if I could have dreamed about it. Not too hot, not too cold, no rain. Regis will be, I think, receiving to begin the second half. My partner, Steven Snyder's in the bathroom. So for a short while, I'll be here with myself. Quickly, I'd like to point out that once again, our next home game and our next broadcast will be next Friday, home against Horizon. 7 p.m. kickoff on Friday. We are anticipating a huge crowd. Our Regis home games are always extremely popular. The first home game is always a great spectacle. Right after that will be the back-to-school dance. As we finish up this August 12-minute quarters in high school football, so 24 minutes of clock time left.
As we begin the second half of this football game,
Chuk Ubanov back to receive for the Regis Raiders.
Regis
Kicking off for
Rangeview
Rangeview will be their kicker, Ben Handy.
For Rangeview.
Coming into the halftime break, Regis definitely carried a lot of momentum coming off 15 straight unanswered points. Rangeview scored 15 points to begin the game. Regis struck back, and here we go. The second half is up and underway. Obanov to receive it from the 2-yard line. He'll take it out across the 10, the 15, the 20. Cutting upfield, the 30, the 35, a big return. There's a flag down, though, at the 23-yard line. This has been a pretty sloppy game overall. I see 2 flags now, so we're going to wait to see what the official call is here. Most of the penalties in the first half were on Rangeview, but Regis did have some bad mistakes, such as a pass interference call on 3rd and 19 that gave Rangeview new life. Matt Hotelling started the game for the Regis Jesuit Raiders, playing his first game. The sophomore quarterback threw 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. But to be honest, for his first game, I think he's performed admirably. We hope that he continues his stellar debut in this second half. And the official call is holding. It'll be half the distance from the goal line, so that beautiful 35-yard kickoff return just vanished, and Regis will start inside their own 20. And there's a second flag, and there was a late hit out of bounds on Regis. So that's 2 penalties that will both be enforced. Wow. Just as I said, Regis did a good job of not being penalized. They opened the half with 2 penalties that'll back them up inside their own 20-yard line. And here is the one and the only Steven Snyder.
Sorry, Jake. I had to run an errand for Coach Nolan.
Yes, you did. So, Steven, as you missed, Regis was penalized twice on the opening kickoff for a late hit out of bounds and holding. The late hit was on Regis, even though they were the receiving team. So they'll start 1st and 10 with the ball on the 7-yard line. Here's Matt Hotelling once again under the lights here at Aurora Public School Stadium. 1st and 10 on the 7. 1 receiver right, 1 left. Hotelling drifting out to the right. He's got a man over the middle, caught Robert Orban across the 21-yard line for a Regis Jesuit first down.
Jake, that was a great play to get some momentum back after those 2 penalties you're talking about. Just have a big throwing play and get some yards moving down the field, not backwards.
Stephen, most right-armed quarterbacks usually roll out to the right side from their perspective, but Hotelling is just as effective rolling out left, which is very, very dangerous on defenses. A.J. Shaw moving left to right. Hotaling passes up to Chuk Ubanaw. Ubanaw pounds his way for 5 yards.
Jake, I'm absolutely love watching Chuk play today. It is fantastic, and it's good football, Jake. He is a fundamental player, and it shows.
The Regis offense of, if anyone knows the Woody Hayes 3 yards in a cloud of dust, the old Ohio State offense that would just pound the ball up the middle and pass when they had to, very similar to what the Raiders are running today. Run first, pass second. Handoff, and it'll be stopped behind the line. I think that was number 9, DeJure Elliott. That trick handoff did not work, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
Down by Dominic Smith. A loss back at the 24-yard line.
Jake, I don't know what the Regis Raiders are going to do here. They're really kind of struggling to start this second half, and they really need to get some momentum going here. I think trying big downfield, not just to get the first down, but big downfield maybe on the lower side of your screen is going to be the play to go to.
Hoteling under center, 3 receivers left. He'll screen it out, and the pass falls incomplete. Overshot his target, number 80, Alex Mitchell. It'll be 4th and 8, and Sebastian Harris will come on the field to punt.
Jake, little confused there. I never quite got that, why a coach throws a 2-yard play to gain 8 yards on a critical down.
I believe, Steven, that was a wide receiver middle screen, so they're going to try to get Alex the ball, and the line let the defensive line that was blitzing through so that they could block players downfield, but sadly the pass was incomplete, and Regis will be forced to punt. Sebastian Harris on the Regis 8-yard line. The punt is solid. And great coverage by the Raiders. That's a 40-yard punt, and Regis being very fundamentally sound in the special teams game as of late.
Boom, 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 Jake. Big hits all around for the Raiders, and that's the biggest demoralizing thing out here. Raiders are absolutely crushing. When Rangeview hits, they seem to lay them to the ground. They don't exactly hit them as hard as the Raiders do. And that'll take an effect as the game goes on in stamina. Like if the team is moralized or demoralized, and we'll see how it goes on.
10-14 left in the 3rd quarter. Rangeview will come out on offense. Rangeview quarterback, Darian Odegaard, out in Rangeview shotgun formation. Odegaard, fake handoff, running right, and he'll get tackled behind the line by Grant Neal, playing both sides for a loss of 1.
I had no doubt who that was on the tackle, Jake, because he was diving. He was ferocious, and he has been all over tonight, tackling everybody, hitting everybody, running the ball everywhere. What a player.
Grant Neal being a true trooper, playing both sides of the ball. 2nd down and 11. Ball on the Rangeview 39-yard line. We're under 10 minutes to go, 9:42 precisely. Rangeview in a shotgun. 1 receiver left, 1 right, tight end left flank. Odegaard calling for the ball. He's going to option left, and he's not going to get cut off from his pitch man, so he'll have nowhere to go. A gain of nothing. 3rd and 11.
And Jake, this is really a critical possession here. If the Raiders can demoralize them enough and get a big stop here, get a good return, and really just start this half off with a good score. They really shut down Rangeview in these first 2 plays that they've ran, and I don't think Rangeview likes it. I think they're going to try maybe a trick play here, Jake, because I can't see them running a West Coast pass with this amount of yardage left.
Rangeview forced to turn to their creative playbook now, 3rd and long. I would be predicting a pass play here no matter what, because this is just too much yardage to try and pick up on the ground. Odegaard has a halfback on each side of him, 2 receivers on the left. Odegaard will drop back. He's going to throw quick over the middle, and his pass is complete. His pass is complete for a first down. That's about a 20-yard gain for Rangeview. Oh, Steven, that's a dagger.
At the same time as I hate teams proving me wrong, Jake, I love it. They proved they could throw a quick West Coast pass right over the middle to get a first down, and I said it couldn't be done, and I guess the Regis Raiders just aren't used to this quick passing system, and it's been eating them up all game, Jake.
Rangeview will take the ball at the Regis Jesuit 42-yard line. 8:25 left in the 3rd quarter. Odegaard with a nice pass over the middle for 20 yards. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Odegaard in the shotgun. He'll pitch it left to Kiertrich Griffin for a gain of maybe 4 or 5 yards.
And Jake, it's those quick little pitchers. They've been using them all game to get good yards. And here, this was one of the lower gaining pitches at 4 or 5 yards. And I really think they need to keep that going, Jake. If they just pitch it and keep it on the ground, I really don't think they need to go to the air much.
Under 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. 2nd and 5 for Rangeview from the Regis Jesuit 37-yard line. Rangeview in striking distance. Odegaard in the shotgun, 2 receivers right, 1 left. He's going to throw left quickly, and his pass is just a little short, and he knows it. He's upset with himself. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
The intended receiver, number 9.
All right, Jake, we'll see what the Raiders can do here. If they can put up another big stop or if Rangeview can keep this drive going again with a quick start to the heart here for this offense.
Pretty evenly matched game, though, I'd say overall, Steven. This has been an exciting way to kick off our 2012 campaign of Regis Jesuit Broadcasting. 3rd and 5 for Rangeview from the Regis Jesuit 37-yard line. Once again in a shotgun, and Steven, I'd say here, look for a pass. Here's Odegaard. He's going to snap it. He's going to run. He's going to go up the middle, and he will meet the Regis defense. Odegaard gets slammed, a gain of maybe 1, but at what cost?
You know, Jake, I think you had the right play call there with the pass. I don't see why they would go for a run. Raiders expecting a pass, but still always conscious of the run with this option shotgun offense. Is that what you call, Jake, an option shotgun?
Yeah, I'd call it kind of a run and gun, where the best team I'd say that does this is Oregon. They do a lot of good quick pitches, formations, pulling linemen from left to right, making open spaces where their athletes can use their speed to find green patches downfield and light up the defense.
And Jake, I think that's exactly what we're seeing here is a matchup between brawn and speed here. Regis definitely a bigger, harder hitting, but slower and power-based team, and Rangeview seems to be an evasive, quick, and running team, and right now they're pretty evenly matched. I would say Regis has a slight edge here just based on the defensive performance of both teams. Both teams, again, based on the big play, and big play usually favors the quick team, so we'll see how the rest of this game plays out, Jake.
4th and 4, Rangeview talking it over after their first time out of the half. They are going to go for it, so here's Odegaard on the Rangeview 36-yard line. The yard to make is the 31. This is a big play for both sides. Odegaard in the shotgun. Running back on the left and right of him. And he's going to drop back. He's going to throw to the right, number 32. His receiver, and it's incomplete. Who was that defending? That's number 12, Real Dines, with the good coverage to get in his head, and the pass falls incomplete.
Fantastic coverage by Will, Jake. He watched his receiver's motion. He didn't even look back for the ball. And when he saw the receiver jump, Will just threw his hands up in between his hands and got that ball away without committing a penalty. Great play and great read by Will Dines. That shows some advanced skills there.
And with 6:53 left in the third quarter, the Raiders will take the ball for the second time in this second half.
Oh, man, Jake, we'll see if the Raiders can do something here with the ball. I really think they need to stick to a run game with Grant Neal heading it and the Raiders' Chuk really backing it up here. I think if they get a big run by Chuk, we'll definitely see Grant Neal step into the game and give them some power running.
Trevor Williams in motion, Italian hands off to Chuk, who will power for a gain of 1. 2nd and 9.
On the carry.
Jake, that is classic Chuk running. He just couldn't quite find a hole there. I think they'll definitely go to Chuk again here. I don't see a reason to throw with how the Raiders have been throwing tonight. It hasn't been terrible, but it hasn't exactly been great, and their running game has really been successful. So I really feel we'll see Chuk with the ball again, probably to the left side. I like the looks of this low blocking, low defensive coverage.
The one thing we haven't seen, Steven, is Hotelling actually run on a play action, and you're correct, Steven. They'll hand off to Chuk once again, and he breaks a tackle. He's got some open space down the field, and he'll take it down inside Rangeview territory to the 43-yard line.
And there you go, Jake. He found that hole that I said he didn't find last play. And you saw him break tackles. You saw him tear away. If he had a tear-off jersey, he might have had more yards. And that's exactly the problem Marcus Dupree had in his playing days. I swear, Chuk is the next, maybe slightly less publicized, but he runs exactly like Marcus Dupree, and it's been a very successful running back throughout the years. It's a fantastic formation to play in, so I love Chuk's running style.
1st and 10 for the Raiders on the 33-yard line. Hotaling and an ace. Hotaling drifts back for the pass. He's looking left. He's looking pretty deep down the field, and oh no, who the heck is he throwing to? It's intercepted, and there's a penalty on the field, so it looks like this return will come back. So that's number 9 for Armand Brown, taking it to the 25. Steven, I'm almost positive there was a penalty on Rangeview, either a block in the back, so that penalty will bring the ball back. The return is neglected, but the result is still a change of possession.
I believe that is number 27's third pick. It could be his second. Actually, I believe it's his second pick, but that's a third pick for Regis. You think we might see junior replacement quarterback Zach Heath coming in, Jake?
Steven, I think that's a very interesting thing that we'll have to stay attuned to. I will say that that pick was entirely on Matt Hotaling. His receiver was completely covered, and not only did he overshoot him, but the receiver, even if he would have thrown a perfect pass, there was no window. So that was a poor decision, but young kid, you learn. Hopefully he'll come back stronger.
And you know, Jake, it's a really interesting setup here. I think the Raiders could learn a lot from the Rangeview offense and maybe give Matt Hotaling a chance to run some West Coast passes. Because every pass he's thrown has kind of been lofted. I wonder if a bullet pass might suit him better.
I agree, Steven. I'm a complete believer in bullet passes as being very effective and safe. That's what I always do when I play NCAA 13. That's the way to go. You can't throw it up in the air and expect your receivers to catch it.
Get the ball with the interception, but the
I mean, even in the NFL, Jake, where they have fantastically tall receivers and shockingly short corners, they don't just throw it up.
1st and 10 for the Rangeview Raiders from the 9, and there's another West Coast pass across the middle, and that's a good cross for a Rangeview first down to the 22-yard line.
Indeed, Jake, and I think now it's going to open up the run game for Rangeview. We should see 2 or 3 run plays in a row here, probably a run play followed by an option, and then a quarterback run is my prediction, just because they have that pass option, and the Raiders will have to cover that and acknowledge that threat.
5:20 left in the 3rd period of play. Rangeview. Odegaard in the shotgun, running back on either side, 2 receivers to the left, 1 tight end on the right. He's going to hand it off up the middle, and the running back will be stuffed for a gain of nothing. Will not get tackled because of the swarm of Regis defenders. 2nd and 10.
Patrick Hall, number 22 on the carry.
And you know, Jake, that stuff won't stop them. I guarantee we'll see another Rangeview run play here because they aren't comfortable with their passing. It's just been clicking for them, but they still aren't comfortable. You can tell that Rangeview's passing game is still not their strong suit.
4:40 left in the 3rd period of play. 2nd down and 10 from the 22-yard line. Odegaard once again in the same formation that we just saw. Regis looking to blitz. Nope, it'll be a fake handoff and then a pitch outside. And a good job by the Raider defense to swarm the ball.
All right, Jake, it's 3rd and long, but if we see a quarterback run here, I just went 3 for 3 on those predictions. As you saw, it went run up the middle pitch. So Rangeview's offense becoming slightly predictable, and we'll see if the Raiders can pick up and capitalize on that.
3rd and 9, Steven, an obvious passing situation for the Rangeview Raiders. Odegaard has been successful in his short throws overall this game, I'd say, Steven. And now, under 4 minutes, the clock does move fast in high school football.
Yes, it does, Jake. Surprising that we have under 4 minutes left, actually.
3rd and 9 for Odegaard. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Halfback to the left of him. He's going to quickly throw it left, and that one was way off target. So the Regis Jesuit Raiders will get another chance on offense.
And you know, Jake, this is really exciting. We'll see here. Rangeview hasn't had a great punting game, so we'll definitely see what they can do with it here. And for all of you guys skipping this game or skipping the college opener to watch this game, South Carolina is leading Vanderbilt 17-13. How much time left in the game, Jake?
11:25 left in the fourth period of play, according to ESPN Mobile. And I just got to say, that's an incredible game. But stay with us because we'll give you updates of that game. Here's Ben Handy up to punt. And it's good hang time, but pretty short. Once again, very close to a Raider defender. But it evades contact. And again, another flag. There was a flag thrown by the opposite field line judge, so we'll wait to see the call.
I honestly think, Jake, it might be a Rangeview player pushing a Regis player towards the ball. That's the only thing I saw there. It could have been holding on the Raiders, but I really doubt it. So we'll see. I imagine that's the only thing it can be, though, Jake, based on the minimal contact we saw, but the closeness it came to a Raider player on the ball.
An excellent prediction, definitely, Steven. We are just under 3 minutes and 30 seconds to play. Again, our score tied 15-15. For a quick recap, Rangeview jumped out to a 15-0 lead with an early strike. Okay. So there's a penalty I've never heard before, Steven. Regis, a player, and a Regis coach collided with an official, and I guess they thought it was malicious because they called a penalty on Regis.
You know, Jake, that's a little ridiculous. I've never heard that penalty called before.
A little ridiculous.
It's kind of like Michael Orr's excessive blocking penalty you saw from the blind side. I mean, it's just a ridiculous call. I can't see malicious by a coach running in. The coach is excited. The coach is trying to coach the game. And I think referees just need to keep their heads up. I'm sorry, Jake, for criticism on the officials, but I think sometimes there is legitimate criticisms.
We're going to get a fine in the mail now. Hotelling, handoff to Ubino. Ubino's got a ton of space in front of him. He had a lot of business. He's across the 50, the 40. He gets tripped up the 30, the 20, the 10. Finally tripped up at the 6-yard line. That is an 80-yard gain for the Regis Jesuit Raiders.
Oh, my, Jake. The flashbacks I had of Chugubina from earlier in the game and Chugubina now compared to Marcus Dupree. He is going to be an elite running back, I have no doubt. And Chugubina will be one of their go-to running backs, if not their go-to running back, Jake. He's absolutely fantastic, and he's making a case for player of the game, player of the week in Colorado. Just absolutely fantastic performance by Chuk.
His running ability has certainly won him the starting role for Regis Jesuit. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, only a sophomore. We're expecting awesome things from Chuk as he grows up. And Regis in an eye for him. Hatelli, hand up to Ubino, up the middle. Touchdown, Raiders, that was number 34, Grant Neal. And Regis has taken the lead with 2:55 left in the third quarter.
And Jake, strong running. That's the only two words for it, strong running. That's the Raiders' game. They don't have a passing quarterback, but they do have a lot of fantastic running backs. They stuck to their plan. They got it done. Go Regis Jesuit.
Yes, indeed, Stephen. An awesome, dominant offensive line push to give the Raiders the lead. That's how Nolan wants to win, and that's when the team's going to be successful, when they can run the ball with power, poise, and dominance. We're going to take a quick break for Regis Jesuit Live. We'll catch you guys in a little bit. Thanks for listening.
Jake, all I can say right now is the momentum is on favor. And welcome, Regis Raider fans, back to back to the initial football game for Regis Jesuit Raiders and Rangeview Raiders here out at Aurora Park Stadium.
Vince Saban off with a kickoff, and a good kick. The Rangeview runner receives it fielding back, and he'll take it over the 20. Uh-oh, he's got a lane. I don't believe that, Steven. I don't believe how he ran right through the Regis 11. That is a touchdown, and that's incredulous. I am absolutely in disbelief right now how you can let that happen. He didn't go to the sideline. He ran right through the Regis kicking unit. That is unacceptable.
Fantastic run, Jake. Wow. He was almost in the end zone there. He was almost going to take a touchback, and I think Regis might have banked on that a little. But, wow, fantastic run. Great blocking by Rangeview there, and that blocker stayed with him. He could have gotten caught, but that blocker just stayed with him, made sure he got into the end zone safely.
Just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we are almost back to having a tie game, now 21-22.
Attempting the point after, number 1, Ben Handy.
Ben Handy on for the extra point, held by Odegaard. The snap is up. There's a flag again. I feel like there's always a flag on these extra points.
Flag on the play.
All right, Jake. We'll see what they do here. If it's actually a real penalty on the Raiders here, we could see him going for 2 again, and that's not something that. Oh, it's on the kicking team. Sorry about that, Jake.
No, you're fine. And the extra point was no good. So, with 2:38 left in the first quarter, Regis is clinging to a 1-point lead.
2:38 to go here in the third quarter. Point after was no good. 22-21.
Excuse me, the third quarter. 2:38 left in the third quarter. Regis Jesuit 22, Rangeview 21. Wow, Stephen, I'm going to have to like sit back and reflect on what just happened because that was a ton of action in about a minute.
The thing the Raiders need to keep, the Raiders right now, the key for them is keeping their heads up. They can't let that one play take the momentum out of them. You saw they had a fantastic drive. They're getting the ball back in a second, and they just need to take it and say, hey, we're here. We're going to win this game. We don't care if you can return the ball 99 yards through all 11 of our men.
A 1-point lead is a lead, and if Regis can cling onto this, perhaps grind out the clock, get another rushing touchdown, they'll be more than in business. Ben Handy will be doing the kicking duties from the 40-yard line. To return for the Raiders,
Ben Handy
deep
will kick off for
is
Rangeview.
Chuk the star of the game so far for Regis.
Chukovina, number 20, is deep for Regis.
Just 14 minutes, 38 seconds left total in this game. And here's a short kick fielded by number 17, A.J. Shaw. He'll take it to the right side and take it out to the 26-yard line. That's where the Regis Jesuit Raiders will start their drive on the 26-yard line of Rangeview.
Jake, I think, as I expressed last time, key for the Raiders. Now, I assume they've kept their heads up. They know they're playing great football. Run. I don't even want to hear, like, if we are listening to the Regis radio, I don't want to hear a coach say that 4-letter word pass because all they need to do is run. They've had success with the run all game, and they've thrown 3 interceptions. They need to run the ball, and I think Chuk is the man to do it for him with a little help from Grant Neal.
That's Chase Bertinelli in the backfield right now. Matt Hotaling under center. Motion from the receiver on the right. It's a handoff. I think there was some trouble receiving the handoff from Hoteling. DeJure Elliott stumbles after he receives the ball, and that's a big loss for Regis.
And you know, Jake, it almost looked like once he got the handoff finally, he tripped over the offensive lineman. And, you know, that's just fundamentals.
2nd and 13 from the 24-yard line. Hotaling under center. Receiver right, left. Receiver right's in motion. And it's going to be a fake handoff, and it's going to go to Chuk, and he'll be tripped up at the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 3rd and 13, Stephen.
Great play by number 57 from Rangeview there. Let's see if we can get a name. Can we get a name, Jake? 57.
57, Takeev Jones.
Yeah, he ended up on the ground after the block, and he just kind of rolled and grabbed or tripped up Chuk, and he never gave up on the play, and that's what you got to do. Just keep on it.
Any way to make the tackle is the good way. Unless it's helmet to helmet. That's bad. Here's Hotaling under center. Trips on the right. One receiver left. Chuk under center. He's going to drop back, and it's going to be a halfback draw. What a great call. Obenaw, he's got space. He's out to the 40. He's down to the 50. He's stumbling on his feet. He somersaults, and he'll take it down to the 45-yard line. Steven, that was a brilliant call for a halfback draw. Rangeview was not expecting that at all.
Jake, I am in utter shock. I can't even say many words about that play. That was such a fantastic call at a fantastic time.
There's a flag on the field. Wow, if this is against Regis, this could be a back-breaking turn of events. We're going to wait for the call. And thankfully there is no flag, so the play will stand. Regis with a first down at the Rangeview 45-yard line.
And Jake, there's only really 2 words for what the Raiders need right now. Chuk Obana. That is all. Grant Neal can help, but Chuk is having a fantastic game. They need to stick with him.
And as you say that, Chuk will get a break for water, and Grant Neal will be in the game, hoteling under an ace formation again. Tight end flank on the right side. That's, I think, number 16. Hoteling will hand it off to Grant Neal, who's got a big green space in front of him. That's a first down. That's a 12-yard boom by Grant Neal.
I'm changing my words to running back from Chuk Obana because Grant Neal showing spark. Chase Bertinelli having some great runs. Regis Jesuit, they just have a triple threat running game, and it's absolutely fantastic. Rangeview can't stop it. Running the clock down with a lead, now inside a minute.
50 seconds left. Hoteling. Now, you know, Steven, that's what you got to do with a young quarterback. You got to set up the run so the pressure's not all on him. There's number 16, Thomas Donegan in motion, left to right to left. And Grant Neal with another handoff. Grant Neal, another big gain. That'll take it down to the 22-yard line. And that is another Regis first down, Steven.
And, you know, Jake, it's really interesting to see the versatility of these Regis Jesuit running backs. Grant Neal decides to grind it out. He won't go down. Chuk decides to run, have great field vision, and kind of run through holes. And Chase Bertinelli just takes the speed and runs around it. It's just a very interesting and fun football game to watch, Jake.
25 seconds left to go in this third quarter of play. Hoteling will line up under center. Tight ends on both sides with flanks on both sides. In motion, number 17, A.J. Shaw. Handoff again to Chuk Obana, and he'll take it to about the 20-yard line. And that'll be the end of the third quarter of play from Aurora Public School Stadium. Regis 22, Rangeview 21. Join us for the exciting conclusion of this game after a short break. So in our short break before play resumes, Steven, really quickly, what is your prediction? Who's going to win the national championship?
For college football?
Yes.
Jake, you know that's not a fair question. I'm biased. I got to go with my Michigan State Spartans. Stellar defense.
Okay, if you actually had to bet money on someone, who would you bet on?
Michigan State.
Raiders will be at Lou Kellogg Stadium. That's home.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it, Michigan State. I'm going to take USC. If I had to pick another team, it'd be Oklahoma. I don't like the SEC.
I like USC too, Jake, but Michigan State over USC, national championship.
USC has a Heisman Trophy favorite as their quarterback. Michigan State has a replacement for Kirk Cousins. I guarantee you USC would destroy Michigan State. A lot of teams could beat Michigan State. I don't think that many teams could beat USC.
No, nobody can beat Michigan State, but let's end it there. Back to the game.
We'll give you routine college football updates throughout the season. That's some benefits you get. You get some college football commentary. Here's Hoteling. A.J. Shaw in motion. Going from right to left, Hoteling is going to hand it off. A nice play to Chase Bertinelli. Is that Chase Bertinelli? And he's got a touchdown! Chase Bertinelli putting more points on the board for the Raiders. It's now 28-21 as the first play of the fourth quarter. Steven, this is great.
Obana, Neal. That's what Rangeview is thinking. And you know what? Chase Bertinelli just put another thought in their mind. And the Regis Raiders, I've been talking about it all game, Jake. They're versatile running. And you saw there, Chase uses speed, just got outside and just beat him in it. Wow. The running game for Regis is absolutely electric, Jake.
Harrison Thrasher on for the point after attempt. 11:52 to go. And another flag. The play will be blown dead. It looks like there was a offsides. Interesting. Offsides on Rangeview. So another interesting question for Regis. Again, that's a touchdown run by number 21, Chase Bertinelli.
Absolutely fantastic play there.
So it was encroachment on Rangeview, and Regis will still elect to kick the extra point because that will give them an 8-point lead. And that, Stephen, would be huge. 11:52 left. So here's Thrasher again. His first point was good. Sebastian with the hold. The kick is up. It looks good. And Regis, 29-21, 11:52 left in the fourth quarter. We're going to take a quick break as the kicking teams get ready.
And welcome back, Regis football fans, to this fantastically exciting game at Aurora Public Stadium between the Regis Jesuit Raiders and the Rangeview Raiders. Absolutely thrilling game here, Jake. And in the last, what has it been, 3 minutes alone, we've seen 20 points.
This has been a very exciting second half of football indeed, Stephen. We'll see if Regis can hold on to this 8-point lead with just under 12 minutes remaining. To kick off will be number 87, Vince Saban. Vince with a pretty powerful kick, and that'll be fielded in the end zone, and that's an automatic touchback. High school rules, if it goes in the end zone, it is a touchback, even if the receiver wants to run it out. So Rangeview will start with the ball on their own 20-yard line.
And you know, Jake, as this game goes on, these last couple of possessions, despite the kick return by Rangeview, you've really started to see the Raiders' dominance, which was what they were expecting coming into tonight's game. They really started to dominate the game on defense and offense and take control, and they really look in control right now, even though I don't think the scoreboard tells the whole story for the second half.
Other than that one kickoff for a touchdown, a 99-yard scamper that Rangeview scored right after Regis had scored their touchdown, this game would be out of hand. But instead, it's still a one-possession game. Here's Odegaard. Shotgun. He's going to hand it off. That's number 22, Patrick Hall, for a gain of about 4.
Patrick Hall, number
and
22
Jake,
on the carry.
Even though that was a great run by Rangeview, kept going, kept stumbling, bumbling. The Raiders are there to stop them, and it doesn't look like Rangeview is going to. It doesn't look like Rangeview is going to be able to get a lot of yards and get the big play they've been looking for. Raiders are just shutting them down.
2nd and 6, ball on the 24-yard line for Rangeview. Odegaard lining up in a shotgun, running back to the left of him. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Odegaard, quick pitch left. That is Keetrick Griffin getting a hello, how are you, from the Regis defense, and in Pacific, number 5, Joseph Bozeman, laying the lumber.
And Jake, as you just said, they're laying the lumber. Big hits for Regis. That's been the story of their defense tonight. Just tenacious, ferocious defense. Big hits everywhere.
10:45 left to go in this fourth quarter. 3rd and 10 now for Rangeview.
All right, let's see what Rangeview does here. I imagine they're going to do a quick West Coast pass on 3rd and 10, Jake.
I agree, Steven. Darian Odegaard in the shotgun once again, and there's a flag on the field. I think that was delay of game, and of all the penalties in football, I think none is more annoying and just completely unexcusable than the delay of game. Except it was on Regis. It was delay of game, but it was for having 12 men on the field, so I guess that's a high school rule. If you have 12 men on the field as a defense, that is delay of game. And that's still a really bad penalty to have for Regis, so it'll now be 3rd and 5. We have a college football update for you with 5:17 left in the fourth quarter. South Carolina still leads Vanderbilt 17-13, but Vanderbilt has the ball on their own 20-yard line. Did they score a touchdown?
No, touchback.
Odegaard lining down the field. Oh, no, that's pass interference. And that was, I think, number 11, J.J. Kilgore, or a combination of Kilgore and Bozeman. But they were definitely making contact before the ball had reached the receiver. So, Steven, that'll be a first down, Rangeview.
Jake, Regis has now earned Rangeview 20 yards on this possession, and Rangeview has earned 4 themselves. That's unexcusable. Regis is earning Rangeview 5 times the yards that Rangeview is earning themselves.
Just 10 minutes and 1 second remaining in this fourth period of play.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Darian Odegaard under center, in the shotgun from the 40-yard line of Rangeview. He keeps it himself, a nice fake, and he's got about an 8-yard gain. He takes it out to the Rangeview 48-yard line.
And Jake, Rangeview's they're having a fantastic drive here, play-by-play, but they got to keep an eye on the clock. If this possession ends up running out or not working, they could be in time trouble late in the game if they don't score here.
Right you are, Steven. In high school football, no 2-minute warning. All you have are your timeouts. High school has I believe it's a 40-second play clock, so you have a lot of time to chew the clock if you're Regis. Odegaard in the shotgun once again, 1 receiver left, 1 right, a tight end flank on the left, and a halfback behind him to his right. It's going to be a handoff. That's Kiertrick Griffin for a loss of about 2. A great job by the Regis defense to stifle the Rangeview handoff.
I think if you're Rangeview, Jake, personally, if I were the coach, I'd be looking for maybe a deep pass, big play mentality, because they're expecting either a quick West Coast offense pass, maybe trucking downfield and hope for a pass interference on a quick little go route. I think that'd probably be what I would call these, Jake.
Not a bad idea indeed, Steven. And we just passed the 9-minute mark. Now 8:50 left to go in the fourth and final quarter of play. Odegaard, 2 receivers right, 1 left. Regis in a 4-3 with 4 DBs. Odegaard quickly looks out to the left, and it is dropped, but the pass was offline to Trevon Newbon, and it'll be 4th down and 5. Steven, what do you do here?
You know, Jake, Rangeview's had such success on 4th down as we've seen. I believe they're 2 for 3, maybe even 3 for 4 on 4th down conversions. You got to go for it at this point in the game, Jake, especially with Regis' powerful running game. They would just chew the clock too much, and Rangeview doesn't have a quick 2-minute offense from my looks.
I don't want to jump to a conclusion and say that this play is the game, but if Rangeview doesn't get this, their backs are completely against the wall. 4th and 5 from the 45-yard line. Darian Odegaard in the shotgun. He's going to step up and look right, and the pass is dropped. The pass is dropped, and Regis will take over the ball on the Rangeview 45. Steven, that might have been the game.
And you know, Jake, great defense there by number 28, Shane Moody. I believe the Rangeview receiver actually had the ball in his hands, and Shane Moody just kind of koala clap hugged around him and made that ball spring free. And Jake, honestly, with the Regis run game and the clock chewing, if they get any points here, and they're starting on, what is that, Rangeview's 45?
Yes.
I'd say if Regis scores any points here, the game's just about over, Jake.
I agree with you, Steven, because any points, no matter what, whether it be 3, 6, 7, or 8, would make this game a 2-possession game, and I don't think Rangeview can score quick enough to overcome that deficit. A.J. Shaw in motion from left to the right, Hotaling, handoff to Obenaw. Obenaw powering his way for the field. He can't be tackled. He can't be tackled. He's outrunning everyone. He's down inside the 5-yard line. Steven, that's incredible.
And Jake, I said it earlier, and I'll say it again. He's like a train just rolling through the defense. Chook, chook.
We'll talk to him if he likes that nickname or not. But 8:23, and Steven, I can feel the victory in hand. It's getting so close. First and goal from the 4-yard line.
Now, Jake, I never thought I'd see a running game that doesn't take enough time off the clock. Do you think that could become a factor or a problem for the Raiders? Regis Jesuit Raiders, that is.
I still don't think so, Steven, because I think even if Rangeview gets the ball back with 8 minutes, I still don't think they can score twice without Regis chewing out enough clock. And Hotaling just got pancaked. He rolled out in 2. That's number 64, Trent Mans, for his 2nd sack, and that's probably the easiest sack of his life because Hotaling ran right into him, but it'll be 2nd and goal now from the 13-yard line.
And you see Raiders in no rush, Jake, to start this. They're going to use every second of that play clock just to put Rangeview's back way against the wall. Raiders also have a consistent and fantastic kicking squad in general, so I don't think they're concerned about possibly a 30-yard or 40-yard field goal.
Regis Jesuit with a phenomenal Kicker Harrison Thrasher, also a soccer player at Regis. Robert Orban in motion on the left, and it'll be a screen pass to the wide receiver. A nice block by Robert Orban, and the Regis will take the ball inside the 10-yard line again to it looks about the 5-yard line.
Number 18. Newbine making the stop.
Oh, man, Jake, you can feel it. And I think we'll look at the personnel on the field. I don't think Chuk's the right running back for the situation. I'd probably go with Grant Neal here just because he's such a powerful back and he can power through.
And as you say that, Stephen, Grant Neal is lining up at halfback. They're in an I formation. Fullback Jacob Van Leeuw, a goal line formation. 3rd and goal. O'Talling, handoff, Grant Neal bumbling his way. That's a Regis touchdown! Raider touchdown! Regis 36. Rangeview 21. Steven, I can smell the icing on the cake, and this one is almost done.
And Jake, you think about it here. Raiders have a 14-point lead. Do they kick the PAT or do they try to make it a 2-possession and 2-point conversion game?
I think you just go for the safe extra point. No reason to try to show up the other team. I don't view this game as being in. I don't see much to gain, Steven, by going for a 2-point conversion. And here's Thrasher with the extra point. The kick is up, and it is good. Harrison Thrasher making the most of his kicking opportunities. Regis 36. Rangeview 21. We'll step aside for a quick break, but join us for the exciting conclusion of the final 6 minutes and 43 seconds of this game. Dropped. The kickoff was dropped on the line by number 22.
Trevon Newbine on the return.
That's Trevon Newbine, and that will stall the Rangeview kick return. It'll be on the 12-yard line. That's a pretty bad mistake. Excuse me, that was number 22, Patrick Hall. That's a bad mistake, Stephen.
You know, and that is a very bad mistake, Jake. We'll see if that actually ends up hurting the Rangeview Raiders in the long run, or if it just has no effect because they don't have enough time to get down the field and score enough. But that definitely doesn't help them in the situation they're in, Jake.
6 minutes and 37 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Rangeview down 21-36. It's a 2-possession game. Odegaard in the shotgun. Odegaard, one-step drop, quick pass over the middle. He's got 2 receivers, 9. That is Trevon Newbine, who quickly got leveled by J.J. Kilgore. But that is a first down for Rangeview.
And Jake, you really got to wonder how these big hits like the one Kilgore just delivered are really getting to the Rangeview Raiders. Their pace of play is slowed down. Think that's because of the hits, Jake?
I'm not sure, Stephen. The hits certainly take a mental toll, even if it's not really something that you think of. Rangeview runs for about 4 yards. And, Stephen, I've got to think here that Rangeview is going to have to start passing almost every down.
You know, Jake, they really need to, but I think they need to take more risks in their pass game and go more than 5 yards downfield like they have been.
2nd and 6 for Rangeview, ball on the 34. Odegaard, 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Pass over the middle to Newbon, incomplete. J.J. Kilgore was ready to swoop in for the interception, but it'll be 3rd down and 6.
I think this is the possession that decides the game, Jake. If they don't get it here, I think it's game over.
Timeout Rangeview.
Timeout Rangeview.
Stephen, how would you sum up the Regis Jesuit performance overall in this game?
I'd say it's a solid performance, a disciplined performance. If we can focus on the second half and even the end of the second quarter, ferocious and dominating.
I would definitely say Regis has been very impressive in overall time of possession. They had the red zone possession in the first quarter that was picked off by Hotaling, but that was a very promising drive. We're under 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
And you know, Jake, we'll really see what Rangeview does here. I imagine they're just going to go for a deep pass on this play to see if they can maybe just get a quick momentum swing and then hopefully hope for the onside kick or maybe even to stop the Raiders' run game. But even saying stopping the Raiders' run game, that just doesn't seem possible at this point, Jake.
And here's Rangeview on their 3rd down and 6 from the 34-yard line. Odegaard in a shotgun, 4 receivers, 2 on either side of the line. Odegaard looks left quickly, and the pass is complete to number 29, Aurelius Hughes, but that will not be enough for a first down. Steven, that's kind of a wasted play because you lose about 30 seconds for a mediocre gain.
And you know, Jake, it really is. They need to take a shot downfield, but I think they'll focus on picking up the first down. Running here would just seem ridiculous, though, Jake, especially with only 5:30 left on the clock.
4th and less than 1. It's going to be a quarterback run by Odegaard, and he gets the first down with about a 5-yard scamper. If he did not pick up that first down, that would have been the end of the game. So Rangeview will have a first down on their own 46-yard line.
And, Jake, this clock is ticking down, and we're just seeing it tick. Rangeview, I don't know if they're aware of the clock, Jake.
Under 5 minutes and 30 seconds now to go. Odegaard, quick hurry up. Quick pass right, and just through the fingertips of number 19, Kareem Mubili. So incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Jake, I don't think Rangeview has the wind in its sails to finish this game. Even if they have the plays left, they look demoralized. They look tired. They don't look like they want to play for the win anymore. They've just been dominated so thoroughly in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, really, Steven, if you think about it, the only points they scored in this half were on the 99-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Their offense has done nothing. So here's Odegaard and a shotgun 4 wide. Odegaard steps up, lofts one downfield, and almost picked off by J.J. Kilgore, but it was 2-on-1, so it actually got caught by Trevon Newbine for a first down. That's kind of unlucky, Steven.
You know, that is unlucky, Jake, but I don't think that's really going to affect the outcome of the game from what we see here. That was a nice lofted pass. They came down with it, but they don't really know how to run a fast offense, Jake, and I think that's going to get them in the end.
Odegaard now has 5 minutes to work with. Another 4 wide, no huddle spread. At the 30-yard line, he's going to run it. He's going to run it up the middle, and he's going to evade capture for a little bit, but he'll be taken down at the 30-yard line, and the clock keeps going.
Tick, 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 Jake. I don't know why they're running the ball in this situation. I really don't get it.
That's a loss of about 30 seconds for a gain of 7. Overall, not worth it. 1 minute remaining in the South Carolina-Vanderbilt game.
Odegaard complete to Newbine near the 10-yard line.
Pass by Odegaard to Newbine. It takes it down to the 10-yard line, and that will be
for Regis.
2nd and 3.
I believe that's a first down, Jake.
Nope,
I'm sorry.
Nope. I was misled by our producer. It's 1st and goal.
We'll see what's going on here, Jake.
Timeout is called by Regis. Their first timeout. They'll have 2 remaining.
So, Steven, there's the first time out of the half by Mark Nolan and his Regis Jesuit black shirt defense.
The furiosity is toned down on the Regis Jesuit defense, Jake, and they're just letting themselves bend without breaking, letting Rangeview really run itself out of time. They aren't even having to run Rangeview out of time. Now, Jake, let's suppose they do score here, the Rangeview Raiders, and do you think they'll elect to go for an onside kick or try and stop the Raiders' run game?
If I were head coach in that situation, I would actually go for an onside kick because I don't think you can guarantee that you're going to get the ball back. And our final score from Nashville, Tennessee, South Carolina beats Vanderbilt 17-13. But, I mean, folks, let's be honest, that's a pretty impressive showing by the Commodores. They used to be the punching bag of the SEC, and to play a top 15 team to 4 points, I give them props.
All right, Jake, that was a fantastic finish out in Tennessee. Now let's come back to Aurora Public Stadium.
4:30 left. Here's Odegaard, 4 wide. He's going to look left, and he's going to just heave it over into the end zone, and it'll be intercepted by the Raiders. Intercepted on the top. That's the tip drill, and number 32 is hurt. Daniel Talley is hurt. He's injured. He was the defensive back that tipped the ball up, but Steven, this game is over.
You know, Jake, this game really is over, and it looks like Daniel's going to be able to walk off the field. So we'll see. He's hobbling off the field, Jake. That's going to be really unfortunate if that's a serious injury coming so late in the game. He did make such a crucial play though, Jake. Hope Daniel's all right. But I believe that is ball game, Jake. 2 possessions, only 4:19 on the clock, and 3 running backs that are very capable for Regis Jesuit.
A great job by the Raiders there. I did not catch the name of who actually picked up the interception. I know that number 32, Daniel Talley, tipped the ball, which was the most important part, and now the Raiders will take it 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line with 4:19 left in the game. Hotaling coming out with the rest of his troops. 1 receiver on the left. Hotaling under center. Man in motion right to left. Now going back on the left. Hotaling running. I think that's number 21, Chase Bertinelli, picking up a yard.
You know what, Jake? It doesn't matter how much he picks up there. The key now is the clock, and they're using it. This is going to go under 4 minutes, possibly close to the 3:30 mark, I believe.
2nd down and 9.
Right you are, Steven. I honestly think that if Regis can get a 1st down, Nolan might just start taking knees because Rangeview only has 1 more timeout. I expect them to burn it soon. If they even decide to, they might just want to get the game over with, but we'll see. Here's Hotaling under center, looking for the sidelines for cues from McPhee. And man in motion, number 16, Thomas Donegan. Hotaling will hand it off to Bertinelli. Bertinelli dives forwards for about 9 yards. That's a good hustle play, Steven.
And you know, Jake, that is fantastic hustle play. Now they make the 3rd down run at least reachable, 3rd and 1, so that they can get this 1st down and hopefully get out of here. Clock's probably going to tick under 3, don't you think, Jake, before this next snap?
I agree, Steven. Right now, 3:10 remaining in the game. Regis meandering to the line. No need to rush. You want to juice the clock as much as you can. Hotaling looking to the sidelines. Hotaling looks like he's waiting for cues from McPhee or someone else to tell him when he should start getting ready. And here he goes, 3rd and 1. Man in motion, Thomas Donegan. Hand off to Bertinelli. Bertinelli will fight for the 1st down. Steven, that is the game.
And you know, Jake, that really is the game. Only 2:47 left. By my calculations, 3 plays makes it 2:40. So it'll be close. It'll be close, Jake. I think they only have 2 minutes and 40 seconds of clock to run off with their 4 plays. They might need another 1st down. We'll see.
If Rangeview elects to use their timeout, Regis will have to get another 1st down, but they haven't used it yet, so it makes me think that they might just take the end of the game. Again, Hotaling looking to the sideline to look for the cue when he should start getting ready to snap the ball.
You see Nolan shoot his arm up in the air. There it is.
And here we go, Hotaling, A.J. Shaw in motion. And it's another handoff to Bert, of course. And Bert, man, Rangeview knows what's coming, and Bert's still been getting good 8-9 yard carries.
And it's really surprising that they're using Bert to power through. Bertinelli, that is. Excuse me, Jake, that's what I call him at school. But it's really surprising they're using Bertinelli to power these yards through. You'd expect to see Chuk or maybe even Grant Neal out here powering through, but to use a speed back to power through is just shocking and shows real domination.
1 minute and 48 seconds left in the 4th quarter. 2nd down. Hotaling waiting for Nolan to shoot up the arm. So here we go. A.J. Shaw, right to left, taps Hotaling. Another handoff to Bert. Bert this time will go backwards 2 yards, but that's just fine. This play we'll take the clock under 1 minute.
Once again on the carry.
And there's a timeout, Rangeview.
So they are going to get the ball back, Jake, from what it looks like with about, I want to say 40 seconds to go, but being 2 possessions down, that really doesn't affect it unless there's like a fumble and a quick return. But that's not likely to happen, so we'll see. I believe it's the Regis Jesuit Raiders that are going to leave here with a victory, and a solid victory at that, Jake.
If Rangeview wins this game, I think we'll all hear about this game in ESPN Classics because that would be an unbelievable comeback. 1:22 left. Regis Jesuit up 36-21 over Rangeview. I will say, though, it has happened. I have come back from 15 points on NCAA before with about a minute left.
I've also thrown a 107-yard touchdown pass on NCAA, Jake. Let's be realistic.
I play on Iceman, so it is pretty realistic.
All right.
You play on All-American.
I play on Heisman.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it'll be 3rd down and not 4, as the scoreboard says, but oh, no, it will be. Excuse me. So, really, Regis only needs 4 yards to officially go into victory formation and wrap this game up. O'Talling under center again. Rangeview looking to stack the box. There are 9 defenders in the box, and here's Grant Neal tripped up. He will not get the first down. It'll be 4th and 2. Interesting question, Steven. Did you go for it and just try to end the game?
You know, Jake, for the sake of this could go either way, especially with the sportsmanship call, because it could be seeing sportsman as not making Rangeview run any more plays and just trying to end it. But it looks like they are going to go for it, Jake.
So Nolan trying to wrap the final touches on this first game, which has been very impressive for Regis Jesuit. O'Talling under center, 1 man right, 1 man left. We're under 1 minute to go, 42 seconds left. O'Talling, A.J. Shaw in motion. O'Talling, handoff to Grant Neal. That's a first down. And, Steven, this is our first victory of the 2012 football season.
And, you know, Jake, what a great victory. Regis Raiders dominated. You'll see him go into victory formation here.
It's going to be 1st down and 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, to recap this fantastic game, Regis started off with a 15-0 deficit against Rangeview with a quick score and a red zone interception by Matt O'Talling. But he bounced back through a huge 75-yard touchdown to John Schmidt, and Regis never looked back on a powerful, powerful performance by the running backs of Grant Neal, Chase Bertinelli, and Chuck Obenaw. Regis Jesuit is 1-0. Steven, this has been a very impressive showing.
You know, and it's been an absolutely fantastic showing by the Regis Jesuit Raiders on both offense and defense, Jake. And I think if we look, is it time for players of the game yet, Jake?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I think on defense, I'll give you my players and you can give me yours. I think on defense we have to go with Grant Neal. He's just dominant in the backfield, really made his presence felt, and especially playing on both sides of the ball really showed his tenacity. So it was absolutely a fantastic showing by him on defense. On offense, I have to go with Chuk. He's absolutely dominant, just fantastic. I want to give it to all 3 running backs, but they were too good to pass up. They're too good to stop, but Chuk really made himself shine, Jake.
And I guess I'll give the unexpected MVP, person who's not an offensive defensive star. And I'm actually going to give that to Daniel Talley, because I thought it was a great great tip at the end. Very impressive the way he tipped it up. He was injured, but he showed a lot of heart stepping up and not staying on the ground. So overall, Steven, that was awesome. On behalf of everyone that supported us, my partner in crime, Steven Snyder, our awesome producer, Tommy Raines, and our great cameraman, Skylar Morris, I'm Jake Leonard. We'd like to thanks again to everyone in the broadcasting club that supports us and everyone at Regis and in the community. And even if you're not in the Regis community, for stopping by, thanks. Any final words, Steven?
You know, I just like to hope everybody has a fantastic night, and we hope to see you again next week as Regis Jesuit comes home to take on, who do they take on, Jake?
Horizon.
So we'll hope to see you next week back at our very own Regis Jesuit Stadium. If you can't make it to the game, remember to tune in on live.regisjesuit.com.
All right, folks, for Steven Snyder and Tommy Raines, I'm Jake Leonard, signing off.